Look at those eyes, man. That dude, he is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Alex Jones is now very, very upset with me.
Look at that. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you. Pac-Man never talked to the New World Order because Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. He's not a knight at the round table.
That's true. I'm not a knight at the round. That actually is accurate.
That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Pac-Man. If I was telling my children who not to be, it's Pac-Man. Pac-Man's a loser. Smarter than you. He's better than you. He's gonna beat you. The evil's growing. It's coming. What you asked for is now at the door, scratching. So open the door and prepare to meet your destiny. Pac-Man's a loser. Man's a loser. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you.
If there is anything that needs to be satirized and remixed, it is Trump talking about massive dumps. And by the way, extra points, if you can sample Trump saying massive dumps and me talking about it in a song, please do it.
Big massive dumps. Big massive dumps. Dump. Big massive dumps. Sir, you just dump. Big massive dumps.
Donald Trump insisted multiple times that it was massive dumps that led him to lose the election, which is just
on another level. On another level.
Dumps. Sir, you just dump. Big massive dumps. Sir, you just dump. Big massive dump.
You turn the faucet on in areas where there's tremendous amounts of water, where the water rushes out to sea, because you could have people are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once.
Dumps. Sir, you just dump. Big massive dumps.
what is going on here? What is going on here? It's just beyond parody. I mean, massive dumps cost them the election. What is going on here? What is going on here? It's just beyond parody. I mean, massive dumps cost them the election. What is going on here? What is
Dumps.
dumps that
Dumps.
Toilets 10 times.
Dumps.
multiple times. Massive dumps.
Dump. Big massive dumps.
What is going on here? What is going on here?
Dump. Big massive dumps.
It's
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
But sinks, toilets, and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
What on earth is going on with Trump and toilets? Trump's White House toilet would be clogged with documents that Donald Trump was flushing down the toilet. Is this the explanation?
Big massive dumps.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15
Trump was doing this
times.
with his personal toilet.
Elements of bathrooms.
And showers.
Big massive dumps.
Elements of bathrooms. Duty.
10 times, 15 times.
Not me,
Elements of bathrooms.
God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Elements of bathrooms.
Well, welcome everybody. We are awaiting the failed former President Donald Trump in a particularly consequential Saturday evening rally. Right Side Broadcasting is covering it. Newsmax is covering it, but right now, even though they're against indoctrinating children, they're selling the Trump Guide for Kids, which is quite a scene, if I do say so myself. And let's just get our shot here properly set up so that we don't have any issues later. I always like to do this only the best for those in my audience. Let's just see if we can get that perfectly squared away. There we go. And over here. And I think that that's just about right. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, please. And then I think I just need to move it. Is it here? No, we want it down here. Beautiful. Okay. We are very, very much ready. This is a rally just days, quite frankly, days before the 2022 midterm elections in Texas. Now, Texas is a very important race. It's the race for governor, and that is Beto. Hold on. Let's make sure we're playing this. Let me just refresh to make sure we've got the right feed. I don't want even a second delay for my audience. There we go. And let's make sure we have audio.
The most.
We do. Beto versus Greg Abbott and other important races as well in Texas. So a very, very consequential race. Now, you all know that I don't say things on the show that are reflective of the way I wish them to be and couch it as the way they are. What I mean by that is I'll tell you, here's how I want things to be, and here's how things really are. I will never mix up the two. And while I would love to be able to say to you that Democrats are looking absolutely fantastic for the midterm elections, Democrats are looking increasingly terrible for the midterm elections. And in fact, if we look at the latest updates from the 538 forecasts, you will see that in the House, Democrats are down to a 19% chance of winning. And you will see here that that has declined dramatically in the last few days. The inflection point coming, in late September, Republican chances improving, Democratic chances increasingly in the toilet. They've been flushed 2 or 3 times so far, not yet 10 to 15, but we'll see kind of how that turns out. Even in the Senate, where Democrats have been long favored to keep control of the Senate, it is barely a coin flip at this point in time. Democrats now down to a 55% chance of holding the Senate. And as you can see, a very similar inflection point. Now, to what do we attribute this? One element, I believe, is not the unfortunate. The timing of the Roe v. Wade overturning was not perfect for Democrats in the sense that really you would want the election to happen right here. It's sort of like if you take an energy drink, do you know how the kids these days take energy drinks? It's like they take the like Red Pigs and all these different drinks that people take. You want the full power of the energy drink at the critical moment, right? Imagine that you want it for some kind of go-kart race. I don't know. And it hits its full power and you're still like walking over to your car. It's wasted. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Do people know what I'm saying? It seems as though the timing of Roe v. Wade being overturned, which was not up to Democrats, it was the Supreme Court. It's on their schedule. It helped Democrats, and now the impact is fading. That, I believe, is one aspect to this. In addition to that, Republican messaging, as absurdly pathetic as it is, has to some degree worked. The anti-Biden stuff and all. It's shaping up to be potentially disastrous. We just don't yet know, but we are looking at all of it very strongly. Okay. Another important story tonight. Oh God, there are so many people who are going to end up banned today. Oh boy. Listen, I mean, well, It's free to ban people, so it's not like we're going to run out, but it's a little bit depressing. Yeah, let me just mention one thing, okay? And I'm not saying this for any particular reason other than to tell you about something. The amount of overt anti-Semitic messages that have popped up in my email, YouTube comments, Twitch comments, Facebook, voicemails, since the Kanye West public anti-Semitism explosion has been stunning. Now, I always get a lot of anti-Semitic messages, but it's exploded, and it's what I call the Trump effect. Kanye coming out and saying basically every anti-Semitic trope under the sun, it doesn't create anti-Semitism. Maybe it does, but the main point of it is, or the main effect is, it allows the anti-Semites to be way more comfortable publicly announcing their anti-Semitism. It's very similar to what, I don't think Trump created racists. It's not like there were all these people sitting around with no negative preconceived notions about Mexicans, and Trump comes down the escalator and goes, there's all these Mexican rapists, and people go, I never thought about that before. Yeah, I'm on the Mexican rapist. No, they of course already thought about it, but Trump made them more comfortable being public about those views. Anyway, I think it's the same thing with the Kanye anti-Semitism thing. And it's vile. It's vile. Okay, so anyway, long story short, there's going to be a lot of people getting banned today. I can already tell. It's just like it's in the air, the same way that fall is in the air. And, ripening leaves and apple cider and pumpkins and all these different things. Pumpkin spice, all that stuff. Bans are in the air as well. I can just tell. Okay, a few super chats. Cody says, the voice you did mocking Kyle Rittenhouse's co-host made me tear up from laughing so hard. I thought he was suing all media anyhow. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the guy who was Kyle Rittenhouse's co-host. I don't know how many of you have seen. Let's actually pull it up. Hold on. Kyle Rittenhouse YouTube. I actually want to see if he has any new content. Let's see. No, this isn't it. Where is it? Kyle Rittenhouse. Here it is. No, he still has just in one. You have to see this. This is just unbelievable. Check this out.
Hey guys, thank you guys for checking out my YouTube channel. I have some great content that I look forward to making for you guys.
He has great content that he looks forward to making. Did you make it, or are you going to make it? What are you talking about?
Thank you, Brandon, for helping me get started, for letting me film
Listen to this guy.
with you and giving me some great advice. So,
I don't know if it's great advice yet. We'll see how the channel goes. It is advice.
It is advice. Let's see how the channel goes first, Kyle. Over to you, Jim. Who's next on The Price is Right?
Advice. We don't know if it's quite great.
Yeah, guys, I don't know that I'd call it great yet, but it is advice. Brandon, back to you. Let's go. Oh, well,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But
we'll see about that advice, Kyle. Thank you.
you guys can help him out by going ahead and liking this video.
Yeah, don't like the video. Do not comment. Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on. All right. What else do we have? The Roe v. Wade effect will not be obvious in polls in critical states simply because of how socially dangerous it is to voice your support for women's choice. People are quietly mad. Let's wait and see. Fair point. I appreciate that. Okay. Huge thank you, ladies and gentlemen, to Alan Morris, who just signed up on my website. Thank you so much. You are new member number 1 today. Folks, the goal is very modest tonight. It's only 100. I want to say thanks to Liquid Ice, Hatch for short, Margot Cabot, and Cody the Epilepsy Dragon for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 5. And if you're just joining us, the word of the day is indict. That's also the coupon code today, which you can use at joinpacman.com. All right. Another story of today's rally is that it is the return of Donald Trump's plane. Now, there we go. Do I care about Trump's plane in a direct sense? No, I don't care about Trump's plane at all. But it is expensive to get a dilapidated, gaudy plane back up and running. And Trump has spent a lot of time and money doing that. And that is a signal, potentially about 2024. Would he spend all this money, given how cheap Trump is, on a plane when he can just keep using other people's planes as charters as he's been doing? Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. And it does appear that it is en route to Texas, or he may have already arrived. This is the back of the Trump plane, and Dan Scavino, his social media manager, posting about it. So that will be another thing. And we're watching all of it very, very closely. Right Side Broadcasting has it, and Newsmax has it, although Newsmax sometimes has not taken the speeches. I believe they are taking the speeches today. So that's another story. Maybe a plane that at some point Trump will need to flee the country. We don't really know. All right, now, I do want to mention that former Democrat and the last true liberal, the last true centrist, the last true critical thinker, Tulsi Gabbard, spoke at one of these anti-trans rallies. Now, I know, guys, I know this is a total shock to everybody in the audience. I know that there's not a single one of you who would have thought, oh, within days of leaving the Democratic Party, Tulsi would be propping up the most extreme elements of the right-wing movement, including Carrie Lake, if you can imagine, and then the rally to end child mutilation. Let's listen to just a few moments here from Tulsi, who, remember, a lot of progressives, so-called, back in 2020 were saying this is the only actual progressive.
Thank you. Aloha. Thanks to all of you who have gathered here today on such an important issue. As we gather here this year, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the enactment of Title IX. Title IX was created out of a recognition.
By the way, audience doesn't give two shits what she says. It's just she's now here, she's on our side, et cetera, et cetera. They could. You think the audience cares or knows about Title IX? Give me a break, guys.
Recognition of the biological difference between men and women, and we as women have had great opportunity and advancement because.
God, that crowd. He's like, we are here because of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, and we are not going to be.
Hold on, I'm coming.
You can't hear anything.
Of it. Where we are now today, though, is those in power are denying the existence of women. They are seeking to erase us as an entire category of people.
What?
And even more dangerously, they are denying the existence of objective truth. Without recognition that there is such a thing as truth, there are no boundaries in our society, which is why we are where we are.
What a terrible speech. I mean, just a horrible, horrible, horrible speech. Thanks to Brain Matter and Irie Man for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, numbers 6 and 7. Do you guys want to listen to more of this, or maybe a different speaker? I don't even know who else spoke. Let's see. Who's this? No idea. No clue. Same person again. No clue. No idea. No clue. No, I have no idea who these people are. Huh. We're done. All right. Yeah, that's fine. We can get away from it. It's totally fine. So that was the rally to end child mutilation. All right. Well, sounds like a worthy cause. I don't know. That's another thing. They always choose these like anodyne, not banal, but sort of like titles where it's like, who could possibly be against that? You know, it'll be like, this is the rally to end cold-blooded murder. And it's like, wow, cold-blooded murder sounds bad. I mean, I guess I'm against it. And like, it's a horrible anti-abortion rally, you know? That's a classic move. I mean, quite frankly, that's how they do all their framing, right? They go, we need tax relief. Oh, well, if the word relief is there, it must be a burden that you can be relieved from. Taxes must be bad. Get rid of all taxes. You have to kind of hand it to them. They're pretty good with that stuff. They're genuinely pretty good with that stuff. Sir, most of my machines can handle a class action lawsuit, says Matt via Super Chat. but there are a couple I'm concerned couldn't. Is Pillow willing to negotiate? Yeah, we got to get Pillow back on the show. We need some answers about those machines. Do I have my machine clip here?
Hold on, I'm coming.
Wait, that's not it. Hold on. Where is it?
Further scream that his days are numbered.
Oh, God, that's not it. Here it is.
Over 54 countries have now been taken by the machines.
Yep. That has happened. You guys want to see pure comedy? This you are not going to believe. By the way, very windy. I don't know if Trump's hairpiece will stay on. That's crazy. Okay, let's go to, this is beyond parody. Herschel Walker has advice, okay? If you have a child with a woman, even if you leave the woman, you don't leave the child. It's not clear Herschel Walker knows how many kids he has, and this is the advice he's giving other people. How do you write this stuff?
And let's become fathers of those fatherless child.
Right.
Meaning, let's try to direct them in the right way.
Yeah.
So we ain't got to do good.
Well, can I just say this here? Okay, so you done raised your child. Now you got to go and try to be.
He kind of hasn't. In fact, he's an absent father for multiple kids. It's like, how, I would understand ignoring this topic altogether, but the right is so delusional that he can actually come in and go, we got to be fathers too. We can't be absent fathers. Like, dude, you're an absent father.
Be a father to somebody else. What about teaching our black men that if you lay down with a woman and you make a baby, it is your responsibility to stay there to make sure that child is raised.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Give them good values that you have.
Right.
That you say, you know what? And I said this to someone. I said, if you have a child with a woman, even if you have to leave that woman, you don't leave the child.
Right. But why did you do that then? Why did you leave all these kids? And you're an absent father to all these kids.
You let that child know, you try to work it out. You're going to be respectful to her. And you're going to be respectful
Right. Like sending $700 for an abortion.
To other things. You show that to your child.
Man, it's unbelievable. Let's see. RCP Walker Warnock. Let's see how the polling is doing. Warnock, geez, that is really tight. Oh my God, Walker might win. This. I may have to move to Canada. I really might. I've that's a joke. I've said so many times how silly that is. It's very difficult to move to Canada. Obviously, my choices are Argentina or Israel. Those are the chances, the options that I have at this point in time. All right, so that's pretty horrible. Pretty horrible. David, how likely do you think it is Trump is charged after the election? I've been thinking it's looking more likely than not. I agree with that, actually. I agree with that. Happy Saturday, David. Do we have an under-over for Trump's start today? Well, the weather is making me doubt. Let's see if they're discussing the weather.
Is no friend to President Trump, and your kids are hearing the lies on social media and even in the classroom. But Mike Huckabee thinks that kids deserve to know the truth.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know, honestly, at this point. Let me know in the chat, how many minutes late will Trump be? Let me know what you think. We got a hype train going on Twitch. Or no, it might be over. We might have missed it. You have me laughing a ton. Hello from Worcester, student at HC. Must be Holy Cross. Beautiful. Beautiful. I want to say thank you to Yuho Kusisto. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Dear God. Otherwise, I apologize. Who just signed up on my website using the coupon code OBAMNA. You were new member number 8 today. Ladies and gentlemen, I should do the voice of the guy on the Kyle Rittenhouse channel. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining me. No, if you are just joining us, it is not the rapture on your screen. It's just gotten very dark and windy at the Texas rally for Trump. And I have a declaration to make. I am coming to you today with tears in my eyes to say, forget about the MyPillow coupon codes. Forget about paying Newsmax for a Trump gold coin. Forget about all of it. Consider supporting truly community-funded media by getting a membership on my website. I would just love it if you did that. You can go to joinpacman.com. It's so easy, even The people at this rally can do it, quite frankly, okay? Joinpacman.com. I say yearly, but you can do either, okay? Either is welcome. You hit the sign up button, okay? You type in the coupon code. See above my head where it says indict? You type in indict, price goes absolutely criminally low. You say, David, sir, that price is so high it makes me cry. Then instead of that, you type in Obama, okay? And then the price will be so low that it'll make you cry. And every single person who signs up there, I will thank to the extent that I am able. Oh my God, and they are dumping in here. Andrew AVR Drums has just gifted 3 subscriptions on the website, putting us at 11 for the day. Very much appreciate that. Okay, couple other, guys, please don't report the discounts. I see people saying you're going to report the discounts. Please don't do that. Okay, thank you. I do want to get to a couple of other things. Let's get to some videos from, I really like to set the scene at these rallies, okay? And let's see some of the things that we have going on. Just have to scroll to the right spots here. Oh, this was earlier. Here was Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick with a very strong declaration.
We have nothing in common. So everyone who votes for Beto votes against me, votes against Ken Paxton, and all the way down the ballot.
That sounds pretty good. That's but more of a reason to, that makes me more interested in voting for Beto.
That's why it is so important to get everyone you know to vote every Republican all the way.
Does Dan Patrick look a little bit like Mrs. Doubtfire? Does anybody else see that? He has a very strange look. His politics are toilet politics, right? I mean, I don't care. He could look like B. Arthur, and I'd vote for him if his politics were good. But is there a bit of a Mrs. Doubtfire look there? People agree? Okay, anyway, let's continue. Here is Ronnie Jackson making medical claims.
I think I'm one of the few people that have the background where I can speak intelligently about this. I know what it takes physically and mentally to be the President of the United States. And I'm here to tell you today, I'm making a medical determination. Joseph Biden does not have what it takes to be our president.
Whoa. Whoa. Thank you to Chewy for gifting 5 subscriptions on YouTube's, putting us at 16 out of 100. Very, very much appreciate that. That actually, it means a lot. Christopher says, did you get the pillows from Mike the Tasmanian Devil? Yeah, so during my interview with Mike Pillow, he like swore up and down that he was going to send me some of his My Pillow stuff. Said his assistant would reach out. Didn't send me a damn thing. Didn't send me a damn thing. Had he sent them to me, I would absolutely try the pillows and I would tell you it's a good pillow or it's not a good pillow, but he is not sending it. Here's Ronnie going crazy. Oh my God.
The physician for the healthiest president that's ever lived, Donald J. Trump.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Where I was the physician for the healthiest president that's ever lived, Donald J. Trump.
Oh my God, these people are bonkers. Hey, you know, can I mention something that I see as a trend on Twitch and YouTube that's just so silly? Anytime a song plays, you see all these people go, oh, DMCA, copyrighted music, quick, 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 turn it down. It's not like a huge deal anymore. Like worst case is for the VOD, you have to share revenue with the owner of the copyright. Like it's not a big deal. I don't know if it's weird to me that this hasn't gotten around where people don't realize it, but it's like, it's not a huge deal. You know, man. Hey, David, I live in Texas. It's very windy. Some fire watches and high allergies. It'll be a short speech and you might need to wear a hat. Yeah. No, are they starting up with the stuff?
Mythical precious metals with Birch Gold Group. To learn more, text the word Trump.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow. I want to say thank you to Mackenzie Stewart, who just signed up on my website with the coupon code OBAMNA.
Obama.
Mackenzie, you are new member number 17. Also want to say thanks to Denise Gammon and Kevin Ram, new members number 18 and 19. Folks, let's do a little something, okay? Because it's a slow night, new member number 25 tonight, I will send you a free item from my online store to anywhere in the world. The coffee mug, the tea mug, the whiskey mug, the soda mug. I'll send any of those items or a t-shirt, a hat, a hoodie, whatever, okay? New member number 25. Now, I understand that you have choices in coupon codes right on the screen. You could be getting My Pillow items using Right Side Broadcasting Network's coupon code. That seems pretty depressing. Seems appalling, in fact. Or you could be using the great coupon code OBAMNA on my website, and we all have a much better time. I know you have choices when it comes to coupon codes. Trust me, I do. Trust me, I do. Disappointed to see you're still running coupon codes that are clearly illegal. Charlie, they can take my coupon codes from me over my cold, dead hands. How about that? Thanks to Lilu and the Portland Report for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. Trump is supposed to start 3 minutes ago. He was supposed to start 3 minutes ago. His plane appeared to land about 20 minutes ago, and it is extraordinarily windy. So we will see. We'll see what they're able to do with that. We'll see what they're able to do. Thanks to Hatch for Short for gifting a subscription. Also, thanks to Rolando Alaniz for the website membership at 23. Folks, at 25, I'm giving out a free item from my store. Whoever's number 25, whatever you want. You can get the hoodie. You can get the baseball hat. You can get whatever you want, number 25. Couple voicemails. I know that we don't have a long time, but let's listen to a couple of voicemails.
So I called Ben and Jerry's because I have to do some investigating. I wanted to ask them, what is white privilege? Like, from this perspective of somebody whose owners
Why would Ben and Jerry's know about white privilege?
went to jail and then bragged about it on the media. I was wondering what's different about you and the black people. What would white privilege be, and why would that be so special? And she said, oh, well, it's not appropriate for you to ask me what race I am. So from now on, I'm going to tell people it's inappropriate for you to tell me what race you are.
Okay. Well, Whitney, very strong declaration. Danny dumping in a super chat. What's a Saturday night without a Trump rally and David Pakman's commentary? Keep up the good work, sir. You, Farron, and Luke are all great peeps. Well, thank you, Danny. I very much appreciate that. Let's see if we can find a bit of a more like toned down voicemail, I guess I would say. Let's see.
David, I have some serious questions about this Alex Jones thing. The more I think about the fact that he's about to lose like $1 billion, what is he going to do? Like, get on a payment plan? Like, he's not going to be able to pay it. So what happens to somebody when they have negative $1 billion they got to pay out to all these people?
Check out my interview with the plaintiff's attorney who got the first $50 million settlement against Alex Jones. Check that out, and then he explains the issues and ways that they have of figuring out how much money is there really, and of course, how to collect it. Anybody can just get a settlement. The question is, can you collect the money? Let's listen to Mike Pillow joining Right Side Broadcasting. Is this Glenn Greenwald doing the interviewing? It's a very Glenn Greenwald look.
You know, I come from a past where, you know, I've been in every walks of life, you know, from no forks to four forks. And then that's the American dream, everybody. And to lose the American dream, that's what we're up against here. This is a spiritual battle of good and evil. Yep. And all you feel, this is the most amazing thing, these rallies. Yeah. It's just anybody out there that would be, you can't help but be inspired, you know. And me,
you know, you really can help but be inspired by these rallies.
The morning you get up to the morning time you go to bed, fight the media, fight everything else going on. It's because I get recharged here.
Exactly.
They get recharged. You know?
Speaking of recharge, can you talk to us about Flashpoint? The other day, President Trump on Truth Social posted something where I guess it was a preacher at the stage said, "And what do you all think about President Trump?" And the entire arena, chanting USA and waving flags. And you were there, weren't you?
Absolutely. And you know what? The churches, they need to get behind. If you're a pastor out there, you better get behind,
literally against nonprofit IRS law. Like what he's saying is he's telling every church to break the law that allows them to not pay taxes by not doing politics.
Our country, the churches, the pastors have to speak out and can't be living inside.
Can you imagine?
This is a time of courage. Courage is contagious, and you can't save it for a rainy day. I said that before.
100%.
We got to speak out. But the whole church.
Pretty good argument to tax every single church, isn't it?
Everyone went, yes, that's what the people want. Donald Trump is hope, and he's proven what, the stuff he did, problem, solution, and what it would manifest to help all people, not just the Republicans.
That's really how I feel about the Trump presidency. That's my memory. It was problem and then immediately solution. That's exactly right. Wow. All right. I want to say thank you to David Latham, who is new member number 24. And winning the free item today is Devin Cuttier. Devin Cuttier, you were new member number 25. Email info@davidpakman.com and we'll get you your free item. Also, thanks to Gustavo Castro, Giovanna Lanza, and Elizabeth Bugliarello. New members 26, 27, and 28. Also, thanks to Jay Bombian, new member number 29. And over on Twitch, Titan Mars Productions and Micro Kimmy. Will I do another free item at 50? Sure. We're at 31. 50 gets a free item. I love it. Why not? Elijah O'Connell and Michael Snyder are new members 32 and 33. So we may actually get there sooner than later. Lies in Politics says via Super Chat, keep up the righteous work, sir. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. Let's see if we can do one more voicemail or two.
Sir, Mr. Pakman, I come to you with my eyes crying. I'm literally crying. How did you become the greatest political commenter there is?
Well,
I'm literally crying, sir.
Well, that guy seemed pretty shaken up. He seemed overcome with emotion. Are we back on TikTok? Oh, yeah, let me mention some. By the way, TikToks. We are back on TikTok. And we were initially banned for COVID disinformation and election disinformation. Of course, we were debunking the you guys know. We appealed it. The first appeal was rejected because we violated the integrity policy of TikToks, if you can imagine. Okay. We then appealed it again. And then we were told the ban is upheld because you post nudity. And we were like, we've never posted nudity. We've never posted nudity. We appealed again. And then with no explanation, it was just back up. It was open again. The TikTok account was open. Now, I have to tell you something. We have, as many of you know, famously, 1.5 million YouTube subscribers. And we have 200,000 or so TikTok followers. Okay, so it's like this. I am now getting recognized overwhelmingly more from people who say, I see you on TikTok, than people who watch on YouTube. I don't know what it is about TikTok, but almost, I would say 4 out of 5 people who say hello to me in public now say, I found you on TikTok or I watch you on TikTok. I don't understand what it is. We have a fraction of the followers there. Does anyone recognize me from Twitch? Nobody recognizes me from Twitch. We have 92,000 followers on Twitch, almost 93,000. No one has ever recognized me from Twitch. That I can tell you for sure. Okay, other super chats coming in. Sir, how many truths have been told on Truth Social? Not many. Not many. Seems like the worse the scandal, the more pathetic the debate performance, the better the poll numbers for Republican candidates. What's up with that? It's backwards. It truly is. Hi, I'd love to see you cover the Forward Party more, maybe in a more positive manner. I think they're doing good work. No, I mean, listen, I've already covered it. It's not interesting to me. A party between the Democratic and Republican parties isn't interesting. It's to the right of the Democratic Party. I'm to the left of the Democratic Party. I think there's very little that's interesting to me about the Forward Party. I don't have anything more. It's interesting because the suggestion is cover the Forward Party more, but say good things about it. Well, I don't have good things to say about it. I don't know. I mean, Andrew Yang is welcome back on the show anytime. I can say that. All right. Thanks to Rich Gould, Corey Barton, Crystal Bailey, and Tyler Jackson for the website memberships, putting us at 37. Next free item is at 50. Folks, we are at 37. At 50, I give away another free item from my online store. It is a great day to do it. Can you use a coupon code and still get a free item? Absolutely. Absolutely. Folks, this is genuinely a free item. So on the website, like the code Obama saves you money. The code, we have another code, Sad Trump, which you can use. That one. Oh, wow. Sad Trump seems to be the best code, actually. Even with a code, number 50 will still get a free item. Yes. Okay. Another voicemail. Let's see what I have. A lot of these voicemails are very much not good. Not good. Let me see.
Hello, David Packman staff. I don't want this played on the air. So
Okay. All right. The voicemails are only to be played on air. It's never going to get listened to, unfortunately. I don't have time to listen to them just for personal edification. So if you don't want it played on air, unfortunately, it's over. Let's listen to another one.
Hi, David. I don't know why everyone's so fascinated with your fast food thing. I just want to I just wanted to, I haven't had fast food. My birthday was about a week ago. That would have been 12 years. I haven't had fast food. So, yeah, not a big deal. Rice and beans totally works really well. I would put protein in there though. Yeah, I just don't understand. I guess a lot of, I guess people eat fast food because it's really cheap, but it's really gross.
Yeah, I don't even know that fast food is really that cheap, I have to say. I mean, some of these places, quite frankly, don't seem that cheap to me. Let's see. Subway sandwich prices. What does Subway cost? Subway sandwiches are, some of them are $11. Yeah, I mean, it's not that cheap, right? I mean, I don't know. Oh, and it's more in cities. That's okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, all right. Well, in any case, everybody just relax. Everything's fine. I haven't had fast food in 20 years, and I'm fine. I've somehow made it. Thanks to Sunny Place for the website membership. You are number 38 today. I appreciate that. Will I cover the verdict in the Darrell Brooks trial? I would love to. Yeah, I've been watching it personally, and it is wild. It is wild, wild. Other voicemails. Let's see what else we have. Oh, it looks like Trump's coming out soon.
Actually, I gotta thank my girlfriend for that, but anyway, because we were at a rally.
All right. Okay. So anyway, Trump's gonna speak soon. He, I guess, flew in on his plane. It's refurbished. It's all crazy. David, sir, if Biden's policies are gazpacho, would Trump's be soup Nazis? Seinfeld joke for those unaware. Nicely done, Stephen. Very, very nicely done, I must say. That was actually pretty good. Thank you to Amanda Abbott for the website membership. You're number 39. Do a free item at 40. All right, fine. Let's do this. Next free item is at 45 instead of 50, okay? New member number 45 gets to pick something from my online store, and we'll send it to you absolutely for free, and I will personally package it up and tape up the box. Now, I can't do that. We don't. Everything's made like they're made as orders come in. So So I actually can't do that. Yes, people noticing the weather looks very problematic here in Texas, extremely windy. Should make it more interesting. It breaks my heart you never responded to my question, not today, regarding the casting of Glenn Howerton as David Pakman in your bioepic. Let's see, who is Glenn Howerton? Glenn Howerton. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, the guy's like 10 years older than me, but I guess, yeah, that's not bad. I'd be up for this guy playing me in a movie about me. Sure, why not? What do people think would be better for someone to play me in the biopic of my inevitable fall from grace that will be coming soon? Should it be this guy? Should it be the guy who played Mr. Shu on Glee? What's the name of the show? Glee, the singing show? Mr. Shu on Glee. Or Joseph Gordon-Levitt. What do you guys think? Glenn Howerton for sure. Jake Gyllenhaal. No, that doesn't make sense. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I would be honored to be played by any of these great actors. Really. Trump signs are coming down here in Wisconsin. People told me Biden gave the IRS billions to go away. Trump supporters with signs. I don't know anymore. I'm not sure I know what you mean, Matt, but it sounds pretty crazy. All right. It looks like they're starting like a hype video for Trump of some kind. Here's Trump's Soviet style press secretary, or who even knows what her title is at this point in time. Thanks to Maximum Lean for the Twitch Prime subscription. You were number 40. Also, thank you to Terry Malone, Bill Dickhouse, Sean Thibodeau, and Tara Canwell. Folks, that's 44. The next person to get a membership on my website gets the free item. Hat, hoodie, t-shirt, coffee mug, whatever you want. Wind that could chill the blowns, says Daniel. Indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Let's see if we can sneak in another voicemail here.
Hi, David. Bill from North Carolina. Hey, just want to respond to Trump using his plane for the Texas rally. No other time would I want to be a 747 pilot and a skydiver at the same time.
Oh boy. That's pretty dark. That is pretty dark, I have to say. Let's see what else we've got.
Hey, David Pakman. I'm wondering, why have you not done a video about Ethan Klein?
Oh, give me a break. Ethan Klein, Troy. Get the hell out of here. That's just absurd. That's absurd. Ethan Klein. God. Troy is such a bore. He's really such a bore. It's sad. He used to be funny at one point, like 10 years ago. All right. Thank you to Vance White. Vance, you were new member 45 today. You get a free item on my online store. Please email info@davidpakman.com. David Ferrugia and Tyler Jackson, also with the memberships, putting us at 47. Shelly Riley, putting us at 48 via Twitch Prime. Let's go for 50. I will give away an item at 50. We are currently at 48. New member number 50 on the website gets a free item. Absolutely. Trump imminently speaking. The atmosphere just electric at the rally, as you can tell.
Insane out here.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It is awesome. And now that the sun has gone down, it's
great.
a beautiful night here in Texas.
It's really great. And I think the energy is actually good for an outdoor rally. Like, outdoor rallies are great. Because
here we go. Step aside. The 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
All right. Thanks to Kevin Kirkpatrick for the website membership. Your new member number 49. Folks, next person, literally at the stroke of Trump coming out.
And we will ban men.
Next member gets that free item from the store. It is going to be wild, wild stuff. Is Trump even coming out? What's going on?
The men who die.
Oh, God, there he is. Is it just me, or is there absolutely terrible lighting at this event? Are Trump's legs collapsing inward? Do you guys see that? I have never noticed that before. His legs, his thighs and calves are forming like the letter X. Is there a name for that condition? What on earth? I have never noticed that before. That is very strange. It's the opposite of bow-legged. Knock-kneed? Is that really what it's called? Being knock-kneed? That doesn't sound quite right. I don't know about that. What a bizarre, bizarre series of events. The lighting is crazy. Is the lighting better on Newsmax? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's sort of better. We'll stick with Newsmax for the time being. Because otherwise I think we might end up screwed, quite frankly. I want to say thank you to Kathleen May. Kathleen, you are new member number 50, and you get a free item from my online store. Please email info@davidpakman.com to collect your winnings. Also, thanks to chatbot Brian, Red Scoose, and T Streets for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 53 with President Trump, the former failed president, important to mention, about to speak. What do people think in the chat? Is Trump going to do the anti-trans line? No teacher should be allowed to teach transgender.
People were starting to come.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. And that's very edgy material. Very, very edgy material. What else do I have from Trump here?
He's going to represent you long and hard.
Yeah. He very well may do it. He very well may do it. Yeah.
Thank you very much to Robstown, and hello to beautiful Corpus Christi. Thank you very much. What a nice crowd. What a lot of wind. What a lot of wind. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun. We have a bad subject because you look at what's happening to our country. It's a bad subject, but we're going to make the best of that, and we're going to be stronger than ever before soon. What's happened to our country is a disgrace, but I'm thrilled to be back with the proud, hardworking American patriots of the great state of Texas. We love Texas. Wow. We ran twice and we won it twice in landslides. I don't know.
Wasting no time.
They say that Texas going blue. It's not going blue. I know it's Trump. It's Trump. It's not going blue that I know of. They think it's going blue in their imaginations. And they said that before our race, remember? We think Texas is going blue. And then we won in a landslide. They said, well, we'll have to use that again the next time. But
remember, Trump won Texas by the smallest margin of any Republican in decades and decades and decades.
But every single candidate I endorse, think of this. Oh, they owe me if I wanted to do something, but I don't do that because I'm an honest person. Every single candidate that I endorse won their race.
That is absolutely untrue.
We take it very seriously. It's a very serious thing.
He just doesn't mention the ones that lose.
Thank you. Wow, that's a big crowd back there. Took a little while for the sound to catch up. And this November 8th, the MAGA movement is going to deliver yet another Texas-sized landslide. We have to. We have no choice. 17 days from now, the people of Texas are going to defeat Beto O'Rourke, a flake. He's a flake.
Beto O'Rourke.
Flake. You know, there's another flake. He actually had the name Flake, so that was easy. And we're going to keep Greg Abbott, a wonderful man, a great governor. We're going to keep him in the government.
Remember when Trump said that something about Obama's sock draw?
A tremendous job. You're going to reelect your absolutely amazing lieutenant governor, a man named Dan Patrick. Has anyone ever heard of Dan Patrick? Where's Dan? Where is Dan? Dan is over there. His son The only person maybe better than him is his son. He was U.S. attorney, I tell you. And Dan's happy to hear that, right? Somebody else would say, a lousy father. Oh, that's a terrible thing he said about me. No, you're happy, right? But your son is great and brilliant, and so are you, and thank you very much. Dan Patrick, and, you know, man, I wish I had him in the White House with me. Re-elect the great Ken Paxton. I wish I had him as Attorney General. You're going to vote for an incredible slate. Ken, thank you very much. Where's Ken, by the way?
What a slate.
Oh, I wish I had you in there for a little while, Ken. He's tough. He was tough. He would have figured out that voter fraud in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was obvious what Trump meant was Paxton maybe would have stolen the election, whereas William Barr didn't.
Republicans up and down the ballot, and we are going to end crazy Nancy Pelosi, and she's nuts. She's crazy. We're going to end her political career. Her political career is going to be ended once.
Did you guys notice that glitch there?
Schumer and the radical Democrat Congress, the Texas way of life is under siege. Biden and the far-left lunatics are waging war on Texas energy workers. Can you believe this? They're against oil, God, and guns. And then they say they're going to do well in Texas. I don't think so. They're crushing your oil and gas jobs, imposing massive taxes and restrictions on the American energy production and population. They're destroying your jobs and destroying our country in doing it, and strangling American families with soaring prices. We've never had energy anywhere near these prices. We can be the only ones that when energy, oil hits an all-time high, we announce we're not drilling. It's supposed to be the other way, right? Energy is at an all-time high. Oh, good. It's a great time to stop drilling. That's wonderful. What a group, right? Let's open up the borders. Let millions of people pour in. Let convicts, prisoners come in from 129 different countries.
Nobody's doing that.
They're going to come in from 129 different countries. Think of it. How stupid can we be? How stupid are these people that are allowing our country to be ruined? Inflation is costing the typical Texas household nearly $800 every single, not year. Year would be bad, but month. How about that? And that's a stat that's put out by our government. In fact, it's put out by the federal government, so therefore it's probably much higher. Your border has been completely erased, and violent crime in Houston, Dallas, Austin, and other Democrat-run cities is totally out of control. There's only one way to end this. This is madness.
That's another
What's
glitch.
happening to our country is madness. If you support the decline and fall of America, then vote for the radical left Democrats. If you want our country to fail, vote Democrat. If you want to stop the destruction of our country and save the American dream, which you don't even hear too much, but 2 years ago you heard about it every single hour. But if you want to hear about the American dream and make it come true, as we made it come true just a little while ago, remember, 2 years ago, we had the strongest border in the country's history. Now we have the worst border in our history.
Despite
so
the
go out
wall,
and vote
wow.
up and down the slate. Vote for Republicans, good, great Republicans. There is no more urgent task for the voters of Texas, and you lead the way. I mean, you're just an incredible group of people. You are tough and brave and brilliant. But for the future of our country, then to stop the invasion. You know, it's an invasion, just like an army is invading us, and you have criminals coming in. That's like an army, and they get their arms. If they don't have the arms, they get them real fast, but they're invading our southern border. We had it stopped. Biden has allowed millions and millions of illegal aliens to storm across the border from 160 as of this moment. We have the great Tom Homan.
Remember, 2 minutes ago, he said it was 129 countries.
I asked him, how many countries, Tom? He actually said 181. We wanted to be very conservative.
Yeah.
160 countries. They're storming. They're storming our country. They include...
Yes. They're famously storming our country from Belgium.
And all of Africa. They're storming our country. They're storming our borders. We have no idea who they are, where they come from. Biden, Pelosi, the radical Democrats spend all of their time...
We have no idea where they come from, but we have the list of 180 countries.
Foreign nations But Americans deserve a Congress and a president who will protect the borders of our nation. We deserve a government that will defend our own sovereignty, secure our own land, stand up for our own families, and protect the people of our country. It's called a very simple policy, America First. You know, I watched Biden and some of the people in his administration. How dare they say America First? I said, wait a minute, it says America First. What's wrong? The greatest is when they say, we will stop MAGA. I said, do you know what MAGA means? Some of them actually don't. No, they don't. It means make America great again. We will stop MAGA. We're gonna stop it. I saw that. They said, we're gonna stop MAGA. We're gonna stop the MAGA movement. I don't think they know what it means. Make America great. How do you do that? Even if you want to stop it, you just don't say you want to stop Make America Great Again. Even if you do, you just say, all you do is say, we disagree with their policies. Much better. We will stop MAGA. You hear that, Doc Ronnie? I don't think you'd say that. Where's Doc Ronnie? Stand up, Doc Ronnie. We love this guy. He said I was the healthiest president in history.
Obviously untrue.
Doc Ronnie. He said, Doc Ronnie said, I just see him sitting. He's a handsome guy. His wife's actually better looking. And his kids are better looking than both of them, okay? But Doc Ronnie said I was the healthiest president in history. And in fact, I said, hey, Ronnie, you know, they're trying to say bad things like I'm crazy, like I'm this, like I'm that. They actually tried the stupid thing. That didn't last too long, hopefully. But I said, is there some kind of a test we can take? A cognitive test?
Not this.
Which our current president should be taking, but I don't think you're going to see it.
Oh, no.
Well, there is one, sir,
The
but it's
stroke
tough.
test.
And frankly, you know, it's at Walter Reed, which is incredible, by the way, an incredible hospital. And, you know, it's public, or it can be very easily made public. You know, in this country, they leak all over the place.
It's public, or it could be made public.
Of the Supreme, you have to find the leaker. You know how you find the leaker? They'll say, oh, this is treasonous, what I said. So they can't find the leaker. He leaked all about Roe v. Wade. Look, this person leaked from the Supreme Court, never happened. You know how you find? But they don't want to mention this because they think it's so terrible. You take the writer, because you're never going to find it. They're going through phone records.
This guy's on speed tonight, huh?
Time. You take the writer and or the publisher of the paper, a certain paper that you know, and you say, who is the leaker? National security. And they say, we're not going to tell you. They say, it's okay, you're going to jail. And when this person realizes that he is going to be the bride of another prisoner very shortly.
Oh, my God.
He will say, I'd very much like to tell you exactly who that leaker is. It was Bill Jones. I swear he's a leaker. And we got him. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that, but that's the only way you're going to find. We have to find. Can you imagine they leak out of the Supreme Court? Never happened. A thing like that never happened before. You have to get the writer, and you have to tell the writer, look, here's the story, the national security. You have to do this, and the publisher, too, or the top editors. Just think, this year, more Americans will die of fentanyl and drug overdose than the number of Ukrainians.
That's quite a transition there, huh?
Yet Biden and the radical Democrats do nothing to stop the death and devastation that we have happening right here at home. They've deliberately surrendered our border to vicious coyotes and drug smugglers. I mean, these drug smugglers.
Third glitch.
A smuggler is a vicious,
Third
horrible,
glitch of the night.
oftentimes very smart person. And what we do is we set up blue ribbon committees composed of some nice dilettantes, you know, nice, gentle people. Tell us about what to do about the coyotes and the cartels and all of this. And now you have to do something very strong. It's called the death penalty, and you're gonna have no drug problem. You're gonna have crime will go down to a level that you haven't seen. But you know, I see the blue ribbon committees because I get many calls. Oh, I'd love to serve on the committee on coyotes, on cartels. And these are not people that can do that job. They're very fine people in some cases, and some people just want the publicity. But we have to get very tough on that, and if you don't do the death penalty. You know, I was with...
It is quite difficult to follow what this guy is talking about.
You could go all over Hollywood if you wanted to play the role of presidency. I guess he just got elected for life, right? Somebody said, is President Xi smart? I said, yeah, he actually is. Very smart, brilliant. And the fake news back there's a lot of them. The fake news. The fake news said, President Trump said the president of China, president for life of China. So I call him the king. He's the king of China, right? 1.5 billion people. He said he was smart. He might have even said he was brilliant. How dare he say that? Oh, okay. He's in charge of 1.5 billion people. They want me to say, no, he's not a smart person. It was just luck. But I said to him, let me ask you, do you have a drug problem in China? And he looked at me like, what the hell stupid question is that? Of course we don't. He actually did. He said, no. He goes, no. What's wrong? Why do you ask such a stupid question? But I said, no, you don't. You have 1.5 billion people. You have no drug problem. The only problem they have is they make the drugs and send them here, which they were stopping with me. I said, don't do that. You can't do the fentanyl. They make the fentanyl and send it through our horribly run southern border. But I said, so you don't have, right? You don't have, why? Quick trial. What's a quick trial? I thought I knew what a quick trial was, but I said, what is it? When we catch a drug dealer, we give them a trial quickly. And if they're guilty, they get executed. And they send the bullet to the family. And they want the family to pay for the cost of the bullet. This is called not playing around. So
not sounding super constitutional.
Get the hell out of here. They don't do it there, and they don't do it in Singapore and other countries, too.
Singapore.
And if you want to stop the drug epidemic in this country, you better do that. And it's a hard thing to mention. It's a hard thing to talk about. And this
Trump's extremely spiritual, and as a result, he's pro-life, you can tell.
Many of the fake news, they say, oh, that's terrible that he's talking about that. Each drug dealer, over a period of their life, his or her life, will kill 500 people, Americans mostly. 500, think of it. So
I've tried to fact check that so many times and have found no evidence at all for it.
To play nice, but you can't play nice. These are smart, vicious, tough people. The cartels, they own now Mexico. I mean, they're running Mexico, and the president is a very good friend of mine, but it's a very tough thing happening. It's the most unsafe country anywhere in the world, Mexico, rated #1 most unsafe. Worse than Afghanistan, you believe it? Because of the drugs. And the drugs are all, most of it are pouring right into our country. So we better get smart. And if we do something that I think most of the people in this audience want, we're going to get that done. We're going to get that done. You have no choice. You know, much of our crime, Dan,
Trump's lying about everything. I mean, just what he said, the least safe country is Afghanistan, followed by Yemen, Syria, Russia, South Sudan, Congo, Iraq, Somalia, Central African Republic. Mexico's not even on the top 10 list.
80% of the crime coming into our country. So we better get smart and tough and start using a little common sense, right? Not conservative, common sense. Somebody said, are you a conservative? I said, well, I am, but I'm a person with a lot of common sense. That's why we had such a successful country 2 years ago. Energy independent, no inflation, little things like that. Since the end of the Trump administration, the drug cartels have seen their revenue skyrocket by an astounding 2,500%.
If that's true, it's because of COVID easing.
From $500 million to last year, $13 billion in 1 year. This is what they're making. The choice this November is simple. Democrats will defund the police. Republicans will defund the cartels. Under my leadership, we waged a very tough war on the cartels. We ended catch and release. We stopped asylum fraud. We deported illegal alien gang members by the thousands and thousands. We sent them back, got them the hell out of our country. And the other countries didn't want to take them back, but we were giving them a lot of money. I said, how much money do we give El Salvador and Honduras and these various countries? They said, sir, approximately $750 million a year. I said, that's a lot. So I said, what's the problem? They said, they won't take them back. They won't take MS-13 back, sir. They will not do it. They're not going to take them back, sir. They've told us no. They wouldn't do it under the Barack Hussein Obama administration. They wouldn't do it. Obama. They wouldn't do it. So I said, that's when I said, how much do we pay them? You know what they do? When we fly in with a plane, they put planes on the runway so that we couldn't land. When the buses came in, they'd stop them at the border, send them back to, they didn't want their MS-13 people back, even though they came from various places. So I said, here's what you do. We give them $700 $450 million a year. Tomorrow put out a statement, or today, I think I said today, like this afternoon, put out a statement that we're not paying them anymore. We're not paying them anymore. And we did, and the following morning I got a call from the 3 primary countries, and Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador. President, we understand you're unhappy.
Mexico.
Said, well, you won't take MS-13 back, Uncle Sam. Look at Uncle Sam. Stand up, Uncle Sam. He's the greatest. They're trying to cancel Uncle Sam. You know that, right? Uncle Sam is no longer politically correct. You're always going to be politically correct. No, they want to cancel. But they said, President, we understand you're unhappy. I said, yeah, you won't take back the people that you send. Because they send them. They don't just come. They send them. They make it easy for them. They send them. Don't be stupid. They keep their good people. They fight like hell that the good people don't leave. The bad people, they say, send them to the stupid people at the United States. They'll take them. And you see what they're doing, what they're building for them? They're living better than our soldiers. They're living better than our veterans. They're living better than the people in our country. They're building things that are beautiful. But they said, we hear you have. I said, look, here's the story. You're not getting any more money. You're not getting anything. What you're doing to us, and then you don't let us send them back. The people of ICE are incredible. The Border Patrol is incredible. All of the law enforcement's incredible. I said, you won't take them back. And then
most of what Trump says, the crowd doesn't understand. And in their defense, I don't understand it either. So whenever he hits buzzwords like Border Patrol, they're like, oh, now we can clap. That sounds good.
I was here. President, may we call you back in 10 minutes? Absolutely. Calls me back. President, we've decided that it would be an honor to take MS-13 back to our country. It would be a great, great honor. We will take them back, sir, and we will do it. Please. I mean, they'd build new airports if we needed it. So this is what happens. We have people that just don't know what the hell they're doing. It's so sad to watch what's happening to our country. Our country has never been so low. It's a laughingstock all over the world. We built hundreds of miles of border wall, and despite 2.5 years of Democrat lawsuits, they tried to stop it. I won all of the lawsuit. We finished the first phase of the wall. Then I said, let's add some more. We added 200 miles more, and we would have had more than that.
This story of what happened with the wall is a complete and total lie.
It's about not wanting to close up the border because they refused. In fact, Texas wanted to finish up the wall, and they wouldn't let them use the wall that was already built and sitting there ready to be installed. In 3 weeks, the additional wall that I didn't even say we were going to do, but we needed it, was going to be built. The wall is why we had the best numbers in the history of our
Very
country.
untrue.
We had very few people relatively coming in, and we really stopped human trafficking to a large extent, that we stopped drugs.
Did you guys know that? Human trafficking was over under Trump.
By 2 rock-solid defenders of America's sovereign borders, and this guy is an amazing guy. He's a friend of mine, and the people that work with him at the top, and everybody in there is just incredible. President of the National Border Patrol Council, Mr. Brandon Judd. He's fantastic. Where's Brandon? Come here. Come here.
Oh, God,
And
not this guy.
also, they're so important. And, you know, they're heroes, and they get treated very badly. Oh, but I get treated worse than anybody in history. So I got like 400 investigations. A friend of mine said, you are the most honest person in history. Why? He said, you've been under investigation for 5, 6, 7 years. They got nothing. Okay? They looked at 11 million pages of documents. They got nothing, these people. They're a bunch of bad people. They've weaponized this stuff. It's terrible. But Brandon Judd has done an incredible job. And another person that this guy is central casting. Tom Homan, acting director of ICE. There was nobody better, tougher, or smarter when it came to the border. And all Biden had to do is just say, all he had to do is go to the beach. He could have stayed in Delaware even. He could have stayed in his basement like he did.
All he had to do was go to the beach? What does that mean?
Because the border was in great shape and only getting better. And Tom Homan, come up wherever you are, Tom Homan. And Brandon, say a couple of words, please.
You gotta love the business mind. You have to love that. Nobody in the history brought a business mind to the White House. He cut through the bureaucracy. He cut through all of the BS, the red tape. He implemented policies immediately.
You know, it's funny, when you ask any of them, what red tape did he cut? Nobody has any answer.
Saved your lives, your children's lives, your grandchildren's lives, your friends' lives, your neighbors' lives. That's what he did. And that's what we hope you're gonna do again. Thank you.
Extremely fascistic praise.
Well, look, I think I told you earlier during my speech, I was pretty clear. President Trump was one badass president.
Really? What did he do? He was bad. I don't know about badass.
I joined the board until 1984. I've enforced immigration law for over 34 years. I worked for 6 different presidents. No president did more to secure our border than President Trump. Bottom line. And I'll share with you what I told the president a few weeks ago in Las Vegas. He comes back, I come back.
And you are who again, and why do we want you back?
That's a good deal. Tell you one thing, the problem will end on day one. So Tom and Brandon, we thank you, and we salute every hero of ICE and Border Patrol and law enforcement generally. I took a lot of pictures back there with your sheriffs, and we had some incredible conversations. The law enforcement of this country is great. We have to let them do their job. They will straighten it out. They're incredible people. We have to protect them, too. We have to help them. Thanks to the open borders policies of the radical Democrats, every day Texas communities suffer the spilling of innocent blood and the killing of innocent life like you've never seen before. It's never happened anywhere near what's happening now. The numbers are higher than they've ever been by far. Just a few days ago, an illegal alien in McGregor, Texas, was charged with the savagely murdering a 38-year-old woman and her 2 teenage children, beautiful children, and then continuing his deadly rampage in the house next door. Then he went to another one and another one before he was caught. He was massacring helpless people, including a 47-year-old woman and her precious 20-year-old daughter.
Very
Beautiful
glitchy.
daughter, who was studying to become a doctor, doing really well, top of her class, before driving down the street wildly firing gunshots, wounding yet another innocent victim, was finally caught. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, because they catch him now, and then they release him, the Democrats. In El Paso this month, 3 illegal aliens were arrested for the brutal murder of a 28-year-old man after shooting him multiple times and dumping his body on the side of the road. And last year in Harris County, 2 illegal alien MS-13 animals were convicted of kidnapping 3 teenage girls, raping them, and sadistically murdering the 15-year-old girl in a...
Trump does this at every speech now. He does these lurid stories with no real connection to actual Biden policy of any kind.
Force the restoration of every single Trump border security. We have Trump border security measures.
Wow. I've never seen him this glitchy.
Every one of those measures, every one of those beautiful, powerful, and very fair measures that achieve the strongest border in history, we want them put back in place. Instead of doubling the number of IRS agents who are allowed to carry guns. Okay, so we have 88,000.
Remember, 87,000. 55,000 is to replace retiring agents. And of those, I forget, there's like a few hundred who carry firearms. It's just such a lie. Maybe it was 1,000 total that carry firearms.
Double the number of ICE and Border Patrol agents. Double them quickly, right? And we should pass emergency funding to give our Texas border communities the security, resources, and help they so dearly deserve. You know, the border is an amazing thing. I got a call from the governor on election evening late, and he said, you know, you did something that we never thought was possible. I said, what's that? He said, you won every border town Every single border town with the Hispanics, you won every single one. And he said that hasn't happened since the Civil War. Can you believe that? He said that hasn't happened. It's such an honor. We started this whole thing, and now it's really picking up steam. In Florida, they gave me the Bay of Pigs Award. That was a big deal, actually, the Bay of Pigs. They didn't give it to a Democrat. They gave it to...
Is that another one of those fake awards like the Michigan Man of the Year?
The major reasons why Hispanic Americans are joining our movement by the millions and millions and millions. In 2020, I was honored to earn the highest percentage of Latino votes of any Republican in decades, I think, right, Ronnie? And I became the first Republican to win Zapata County in 100 years. Zapata. 100 years. But it's true, that's a great honor. These are great people. These are hardworking people. And you know what they want? They want security. Very entrepreneurial people. They really are, they're becoming a real part of the Republican Party. It's incredible.
Right.
This has all happened over the last few years. The Republican Party is now the proud home of a new generation of Hispanic leaders like Cassie Garcia. Where is she? Cassie Garcia. Monica de la Cruz.
Uh-oh, this could get risky.
A real star, Mayra Flores. Who recently became the first Republican ever to win her congressional district on the border. First ever. She's fantastic. Smart, all of them. To every Hispanic American in Texas, Arizona, and all across our land, we welcome you to our party and to our movement with open, beautiful, strong arms. So I want to thank you all. Because together we will make America great and glorious again. Among our first and most crucial tasks is to make America safe again. We can't have a great country if we're not safe. If people walk down the street and they get slugged from behind by some maniac. Under the radical left Democrats, the streets of our cities are ruled by bloodthirsty gangs and violent criminals like never before. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. Austin set an all-time record for homicides. Last year, an all-time record, not even close, by the way. And the number of Hispanic murder victims nationwide is up 40% plus. They think it's at least 40%. With a Republican Congress, we must also pass critical funding to hire thousands more police officers nationwide to put violent criminals behind bars and keep them behind bars for a long time. We have to protect our police. Death penalty if you kill a police person. Death penalty. We need to leave our police alone and let them do their job. If you want safety for your family and security for your community, you need to know every Democrat out of office, you have to get them out. You have to know that every Democrat is against the things that the people here tonight, and this is an incredible crowd, the people here tonight.
Who do you think's a worse person, Trump or Kanye at this point?
2 days' notice, it's happening like this all over the country, by the way, in all fairness. We were in Michigan, Arizona, we were all over the country. Nevada, we have massive crowds, everyone. We give them like 2 days' notice, and we have thousands and thousands of people show up. But we want you to vote straight Republican up and down the ballot. One of the worst and most sinister aspects of the Biden administration is the complete and total corruption of our justice system and the rule of law. Before our very eyes, Biden and his left-wing handlers are turning America into a police state. And I don't even think it's Biden, to be honest with you. But they got some bad people around.
A police state?
Like something straight out of a communist country. See, I used to say socialist, but we've skipped socialism. We don't talk about that.
Yeah. It's a police state in which they've removed all the law enforcement from the border to make it completely lawless.
About communists. There's a communist system that we're putting up with right now. The radical Democrats are locking up pro-life activists, persecuting their political opponents, spying on their political rivals, silencing dissent, and using the full force of government, law enforcement, and the media to try and crush our movement. And let me tell you, the media is a big problem because they're corrupt and dishonest. As an example, all you have to do is look this week. The FBI paid $200,000 to one of its informants to help them obtain bogus FISA warrants against me and peddle the fake Russia hoax. Remember that? The little thing called, you notice nobody talks about it? And yet they gave out the Pulitzer Prize for reporting on the Russia hoax, okay? Reporting on Russia, Russia, Russia. So you have reporters from the Washington Post and New York Times that got Pulitzer Prizes, and they reported the exact wrong thing. So within the next 2 weeks, we're suing the Pulitzer organization to have those prizes taken back.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll be a really successful lawsuit, like all the others.
We'll be doing that over the next 2 weeks. I think it's a very good lawsuit, but we'll see. But we're suing. Think of it. They got the Pulitzer Prize for wrong reporting. But other people should have gotten the Pulitzer Prize because, frankly, they got it right for years. And they don't do Pulitzer Prizes for guys like Sean Hannity, but they should, by a different name, and Tucker Carlson, and Jeanine Pirro.
Oh, that's rich.
And
Yeah.
Laura.
Imagine Jeanine Pirro getting a Pulitzer. Now that's rich.
Pulitzer Prizes to the people that got it wrong. Remember this, by allowing these people that got Russia, Russia, Russia wrong, they're actually libeling me because they're saying they got it right. And it turned out to be a hoax, and everybody now has admitted it was a hoax. Even the Times and even the Washington Post, they said it's a hoax. So if it's a hoax, then let them give the Pulitzer Prizes back or take them back. They shouldn't be allowed to keep them. The FBI even offered, you saw this one last week, $1 million found out by John Durham to the author of the fake dossier. How about that fake dossier? You think it was great when I had to go home that night? Not so good. I'm sure you don't know what I'm talking about. That was not the greatest. Oh.
Now, as you guys know, Durham has been an embarrassment. Multiple acquittals now in what was supposed to be the trial of the century for the political crime of the century, Obamagate. Durham has nothing. It's been 3 years of Durham. There's nothing there.
Believe, because he's a germ freak. I don't believe that. But they offered $1 million to the author of the fake dossier, Christopher Steele, a real lowlife, to corroborate his false story. They wanted it corroborated. They'll give him, think of that, they'll give him $1 million if he will say that we corroborate these facts are true. But he couldn't do it because they were untrue, and it was all against me. This is what I've been fighting. Can you believe this? What the hell kind of a life? I used to have such a nice life. What the hell did I do? We got these maniacs that are looking to destroy our country. Right, Doc Ronnie? They're looking to destroy our country.
More like
Look,
save
they're not
it.
stupid people. Well, some are, actually, but they're not stupid people. So they can only, I mean, either they're stupid or they're looking to destroy, because who wants this stuff to happen? Who wants this to happen? Who wants to have open borders? Who wants to have no voter ID? Who wants to have, they don't want anybody talking about whether or not you're a citizen when they go in to vote. No citizenship verification.
You can't even register to vote unless you're a citizen.
Even Democrats want it. If you poll it, not even Democrats want it. It's a shame. So I don't believe they're stupid, so therefore they're trying to destroy our country, because it can only be one of those two things. Every freedom-loving American needs to understand the time to stand up to this growing tyranny is right now. It's right now. We got to do it. Just do it. So, like the January 6th Committee of Unselect unselect political thugs. You know, January is the unselects. I never got any credit. I think that was one of the great names, unselects. They're unselect. It's supposed to be, there's the select committee of political,
Right.
By the way, how did Liz Cheney do it? She lost by 40 points. And then the corrupt press, they say, Liz Cheney, we believe, has a great future in politics. She lost by 40 points, the single biggest margin a congressman or woman has ever lost by in history. And then they say, we feel she has a fine future in politics. I don't think so. But January, all she does is January 6th. She's like obsessed. So here and Kinzinger.
She's like totally obsessed, guys.
She cries. These are the people we have. But remember this, January 6th, this committee, the two things they didn't talk about, two things, was that the people went down there and you could have had over 1 million people.
Wow, it's a cult. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't planning on a cringe stream today. How do these people even hold a job, you know?
Hold on, I'm coming.
Further scream that his days are numbered.
All right.
Wow, that's so beautiful. You know, when this whole big group stood up, I said, oh, we have protesters. And you know what? They are protesting. They're protesting what's taking place in our country, and it's so bad and so wrong. It is a protest.
Oh, my God.
So the unselect committee of political...
It's like a mix of Castro and Putin.
It's the same people that did Russia, you know, Shifty Schiff, Shifty Adam Schiff, what a sleazebag he is. And all these people, the same people that did the Russia hoax, and then when they realize it's a hoax, they realize they knew from the beginning, they made it up, it was all made up. But when they get caught, a couple of days go by, then they start the Ukraine, they start the Mueller deal, these are the same people, these people are sick. They should spend time on trying to make our country great, not this crap. All they do is investigate. We're like a nation that's, all we do is investigate. Yeah. And frankly...
It's interesting how bodies charged with investigating investigate. Like the FBI, they keep investigating stuff. The House, they keep investigating stuff.
Our country. But remember this, and I'm going to get off the subject, but...
Please.
January 6th was caused because of a crooked, stolen election, and they don't even talk about it during the January 6th
He's
committee
justifying
hearings.
it.
Never even discussed.
He's justifying it.
So they don't discuss that. And what's the second thing they don't discuss? Nancy Pelosi is in charge of security in the Capitol. Ronnie knows this better than anybody.
Remember that is untrue. Trump claims he asked for 10,000 soldiers. There is no evidence of that request.
Going to discuss that. I authorized from 10 to 20,000
Lie.
troops should they need them 4 days, 3 days earlier.
There is no evidence of that. He's changing the number. He used to say 10,000. Now he says 10 to 20,000. It is a lie. There is no evidence of that. There's no record that he did that.
Maybe over 1 million people. Do you ever see a picture? They don't show the pictures of the crowd. The crowd that we spoke before, the crowd that I and other great patriots spoke before. They never talk about that, and they never talk about the fact that Nancy Pelosi refused to use the military, and they didn't need 10,000 to 20,000 if they had 500 people who would have.
This is all completely untrue. This is truly horrific. It's lies on top of lies.
They never talk about, and they sent me a subpoena the other day.
Zavina.
They sent me a subpoena. Think of it. These crooked people, and the only thing they don't they don't want to do investigate.
That's another glitch, and Trump is completely losing it.
Was the corruption that took place in that election, which was massive. And the facts are all there. We have so
really unhinged.
Swing state, you take a look, and most of the people in this audience know it because you know a lot more. And these people back there, they don't want to cover it. And that's the problem that we have with our country right now, because the fake news will not even.
There's only right-wing media at the back of that room.
If you're an anchor like Lou Dobbs, who's great, if you're an anchor and you know it's right and you talk about it, you lose your job, you get fired. It's a disgrace.
Oh, my God.
If you want to save your rights and liberties, you have to start by dealing a crushing rebuke to the radical left maniacs that we're dealing with in this election. These are maniacs.
Just babbling.
For 6 straight years, the witch hunts, hoaxes, abuses have been coming fast and furious, mostly aimed at me. Isn't that nice? What a wonderful life. Our great First Lady said, what a wonderful job. This is so lovely. Every day you get a subpoena. If I fly over a Democrat state in my little plane that we flew over you, did you see that? Right, my man? If we fly over a Democrat state.
Back in 5.
I get a grand jury subpoena. I said, what happened? What'd you do? Sir, they're investigating you. You flew over the state. They think something's up. They've been looking at me for a long time, Doc Ronnie. I'll tell you what, they found nothing. They have found one thing, I will say. They found that I, like you, am a great patriot. That's what they found. It's a disgrace what's going on. Like the boxes hoax. Have you looked at the boxes hoax, okay? This is a new one. The boxes, you know, Mar-a-Lago. Have you seen the last 5 or 6 presidents, what they did? They took it. They're in Chinese laundries, they're stored. They're in storage houses where the windows and doors are broken. It's a disgrace. But if your name's Trump, you have to take a look at it. Read Greg Jarrett's piece. It's a disgrace what's going on in our country. So first we learned they spied on my campaign. Could you imagine if we spied on, let's say, Obama's campaign, okay? Let's say we spied. They would reinstitute the death penalty. With me, it's, well, I don't know. With us, they call it a conspiracy theory. No, they spied on our campaign, and we caught them. Remember a long time ago? I put out, you know, they spied on my campaign, and everyone said, what a horrible thing to say. If that ever happened to Obama or a Democrat, forget about Biden. Don't even talk about Biden. Any Democrat, if that ever happened, it would be the biggest story in history. Think of it. They spied on a president's campaign, including for a period of time when he was in the White House. That's the biggest story of our time, and these crooked reporters don't want to even talk about it. Then they lied to Congress many times. You know, Comey and all those guys, they lied to Congress. You know that many times. And then they lied to the FISA court many, many times. And they created a fake dossier that was done and paid for by crooked Hillary Clinton, the Democrats, Democratic National Committee. It was all paid for by the Democrat Party, the Democrat National Committee, and crooked Hillary. And yet after all of that, these same people, they come after me. They spied on my campaign, they come after me. And we have attorney generals that didn't have the courage to do what they had to do because he didn't want to be impeached. Please don't impeach me.
You know how he doesn't get impeached? To say, oh, I think the election was perfect. It was so wonderful. Check out Detroit, check out Philadelphia, check out Atlanta. It's a disgrace. No, it's a disgrace. That's why when I hear about Ken Paxton, and I see Ken Paxton shouldn't even have a race. He's done such a great job. He shouldn't even have a race. Stand up, Ken. Where the hell are you, Ken? He shouldn't even have a race. I would have been proud to have him in the White House. He wouldn't have done that. How do you not get impeached? They wanted to impeach our Attorney General. How do you not get impeached? All you do is say, oh, the election was wonderful. Then they say, we're not impeaching this guy. Man, we just hit pay dirt. Remember, it was Russia, Russia, Russia. Ukraine, 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 and then the Mueller witch hunt, where the conclusion was no collusion. You think Biden could say that? I don't think so. The conclusion. Think of that. The conclusion was no collusion. That would be a tough one. If they wrote that for Biden, that would be the end of their job. He'd still be trying to figure it out. And then they had impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, the censorship of the Biden family corruption story as Russian disinformation by the FBI and Facebook. So the FBI goes up to Facebook and to other media, people back there, and says that the laptop from hell was Russian disinformation, even though they knew it was untrue. This is what we're dealing with. And nothing's going to happen to them. Nothing happens to them. It's a disgrace. Our country is very sick. And that made a 17-point difference, they say, according to John McLaughlin and Tony Fabrizio and a lot of the great pollsters. It made from 10 to 17 points, but it made a tremendous difference. Didn't matter. We got more votes than we needed anyway. They just cheated. They would have figured a way to cheat that, too. That's why we have to be careful with this election, that they're not allowed to cheat. They cannot be allowed to cheat again. And then it was the Unselect Committee of Political Hacks and Thugs, and also appalling misconduct by the racist and incompetent New York State Attorney General. She's incompetent. Letitia Peekaboo James, who is presiding over record numbers of murders, rapes, drug deals, and every other form of crime in our once great New York State, but only spends her time going after me. Let's go after Trump. We have this woman, Peekaboo James. She goes out. She runs on getting Trump. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. She doesn't know anything about me. She just sees my name in the. I'm going to get him. Years and years, and yet you have people being murdered in the street. And there was no crime. I did nothing wrong. But you have people murdered on the street. You have drug dealers all over, and she couldn't care less. She's the worst, so we'll see what happens there with her election. I hear she's losing. Wouldn't that be amazing if she lost? And I hear Lee Zeldin is winning because you know what? The people of New York, just like the people in Texas and everywhere else, you're tired of crime. You don't want crime. You want to have low taxes. You want to have great education. You want to have a strong military. You want to have all the things that people with common, you know what you want? You want voter ID. You know what you really want? You want paper ballots and same-day voting with voter ID. Otherwise, you'll never get it straight. If you don't do that, France just had an election, 36 million people. It's a big nation. 36 million people voted by paper. They voted same day, and they have voter ID. And by 11 o'clock in the evening, there was a winner, there was a loser. Everyone went home, and they said, let's get him next time. But if you don't go to paper ballots, and if you don't go to voter ID, and if you don't go to same-day voting, these things that take place for over 48 days, sir, we have boxes stored in a storage room. Oh, where are they? Oh, well, they haven't been. We haven't seen them for a while, Mike, have we? Those boxes. Where are they right now? Wow. They seem to have disappeared. But
what's going on with him tonight? He's just like even stranger than usual.
See anything so crazy? We have a corrupt country. We have a horrible border. Sure. And we have really sick elections. And nobody, one thing you've learned a lot from me. You've learned about those things, borders and elections. And I can't tell you which is worse, and I can't actually tell you which is more important. I think elections might even be more important than the border. Because if you get the right people, you'll solve the border problem. The radical left thinks by doing all these wicked and venomous things, they are making us weaker, but actually, they are making us stronger and more united than ever before. They're coming after me because I'm fighting for you, and that is true. Thank you, darling. Thank you. I'm glad you weren't protesters. It was a nice group. That was very well done. I didn't know what the hell happened. This group, what a great group of people. Where are you from? Where? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
This, I mean, it's a cult. It's a cult. There's no way around it. These are cult members. And as you know, cult beliefs can be very stubborn, very, very stubborn. We've interviewed cult experts.
But we have to save our country.
It's painful
nice to say
watch.
we love Trump. We have to save our country. By the way, I'm speaking to this group here. They stood up. It was so beautiful, actually. It was actually a beautiful moment. They're too smart to say bad things. It's too dangerous in this group to say bad things. You notice we don't have much of that. I haven't had that in 2 years. They used to, at the beginning, they'd stand up, we don't like you. The poor guys, oh, it was terrible. Then I always got blamed, remember? But we haven't had that. You know, this country is really united.
The reason Trump was blamed is he would offer to pay people beating the crap out of protesters legal fees.
And the country was really united, and I'm talking left and right. When we turned it around prior to COVID, we had every single group doing better than it had ever done in history. The country had done better than it had ever done in history. And people from the radical left were calling me to get together. I said, you know, because some people say to me, and I say to them, it would be great if we could unite everyone, the right and the left and everybody. And I never knew that it was going to be possible. But prior to our horrible, horrible gift that came out of the Wuhan labs of China, prior to China and the dust that they sent over, what a disgrace. And we're going to, someday, we're going to do something. China. Because what happened, what they've done to the world, forget about it. $60 trillion in damage. They cannot afford that, by the way, just so you know. But prior to that coming in, our country, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, women, men, kids with a high school diploma, kids without a high school diploma, first in your class at the Wharton School of Finance, MIT, Harvard, people that didn't get a college diploma. Namaste. Every single group without even one, nobody. Everybody was doing better than ever before by a lot. And I was getting calls from the radical left. Can we get together? And then that horrible thing happened, the China virus, I call it, because I want to be accurate, not COVID-19. COVID-19, where does that come from? COVID.
Donate
where does
plasma.
that come from? The China virus came in, and then we had to redo it again. And we did an incredible job with Operation.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, very powerful light, apply light and heat to cure. And then I see the disinfectant. Is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside? Supposing you brought the light inside the body.
Can't let this stuff happen to our country. We're not going to have a country. And when that result took it and they took over, think of it. And remember, he was going to solve, oh, we're going to have the vaccine out. We're going to have all this stuff done. It's going to take only if... I mean, more people died in that first year of him than under us, and it was getting much better. But think of it. With all of the things that happened, everything that happened...
What's he drawing?
The stock market...
It was getting much better.
...was higher when I handed it over than it was before, just prior to the China virus coming in to our country. Think of that. We gave an unbelievable country back, and now our country is being destroyed. Energy is a disaster. Crime is a disaster. The border is a disaster. Our military is going woke. Our military is getting to be an embarrassment, and great people are leaving our military, and great people are leaving our law enforcement, too. To every citizen who is appalled by the radical left's lawlessness and corruption, this election is your chance to make your voice heard. You have to do it. You have to do it. With your vote, you can reject left-wing tyranny and proudly declare that America will always remain a free country. Got to be a free country. Tell you what, we're really on the borderline. I used to say during the 2016 election, well, we didn't do as well as the other one, frankly, but I used to say that If we don't get this right, we're going to be Venezuela on steroids. And that's where we're going. We're right now going to be soon Venezuela on steroids. You can take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would not have done the damage Joe Biden has done to our nation in less than 2 years. Let's take a look. By the way, we have a little video. Take a look at this.
Oh, no.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I haven't. Look.
Let's get ready to bombard!
Oh, my God.
I think it's a right for people to have bad health care. True international average of pressure. God, oh my Lord, I can't believe I said that. America is a nation that can be defined in this.
Meanwhile,
I've had more investigations than Jesse James, Billy the Could. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel, Kofefi. No more drop box. The drop boxes. Cephahide. Then he went, Donald Trump, yeah, Donald Trump. If you care about law and order, take a look at the oranges of the investigation, advising lawmakers. You know, Mike did me on 60 Minutes. And the combat infantrymen, troth essential.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The guy who runs that outfit over there. I've had a couple Washington. But the nature, not Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here. What am I doing here? Tucker, yeah.
I got hairy legs that turn, that.
Thank you for tolerance and listening to me. I appreciate it very much. What?
And then we fell in love.
Quite an electric atmosphere at this rally.
All right. Thank you. Now, that's a very sad thing. You know, I went through a list of the leaders, most of whom I know, and some I know very well, and any country you want to talk about. Those leaders are at the top of their game. They are at the top of their game. They're sharp, they're smart, they're tough, and they're for their country. It's their country first. And with us, it has to be our country first. But we have to have people that know what they're doing. They don't believe what's going on. I think the really ones that have respected us over the years, the ones that really think like America, they're smart. I'll tell you what, they respected us 2 years ago. They respected us like they never respected us. There was no games. Ukraine would have never happened. Inflation would have never happened. Energy prices would have never happened like they are. But they respected our nation. All of these things that we're looking at were self-made. They were unnecessary to happen. And what's going on now is so sad. But the other leaders, they think that we're playing, because they respected us for so many years, but especially in the last 4 or 5 years prior to this disaster happening, and they think we're playing 4-dimensional chess. Does that make sense?
No.
They say, there's no way this is happening. That country is too smart. It's 4-dimensional. President Xi probably has a meeting, and he says, wait a minute. This can't be possible. They're too smart for that. It's
China.
4-dimensional chess. Does anyone know what that means? I know what that means. You know what it means? They can't believe what the hell is going on with our country. Under my leadership, we had for the first time American
Did you
energy.
say Arcante?
Very low prices. And even energy dominance. We were going to dominate the entire world on energy. And we were bigger than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined within a very short period of time. We're going to be dominant. Now Biden is begging and pleading with OPEC, but instead of increasing production, they're cutting it off. Think of it. Oil has reached an all-time high. Let's not go for oil anymore. And we have more than anybody. We gave you the largest tax cuts and regulation cuts in American history. By contrast, the radical Democrat Congress passed one of the largest tax hikes in American history. It was the largest tax hike, I believe, in American history. Under the Trump administration, we had the greatest economy in the history of the world with no inflation. Biden and the Democrat Congress created the worst inflation in 50 years, 9.1%, but it's much higher than that. You see your bills, it's much higher. I rebuilt our military, including our nuclear capability, which hopefully we'll never have to use, and the creation of Space Force, first time since Air Force, 79 years. 79 years ago, we did Air Force, this was Space Force, new branch, and it's turning out to be very, very powerful and important. They surrendered our strength and turned Afghanistan into the greatest humiliation our country has ever had. And now we have a war between Russia and Ukraine with potentially hundreds of thousands of people dying that would never, ever, ever in a million years have happened if I were president. And in addition to that, the oil prices would have been low enough that they wouldn't have been able to afford the war, but we didn't even need that. Putin would have never done it. I know him well. The election was rigged and stolen, and now our country is being destroyed. I ran twice. I won twice and did much better the second time than I did the first.
Right.
Getting millions more votes in 2020 than we got in 2016. And likewise, getting more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country by far.
But what about Biden's
And now,
votes?
in order to make our country successful, safe, and glorious again, I will probably have to do it again.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This guy should be in prison.
And we will ban men. Thank you very much, everyone. But first, we have to win a historic victory for the Republican Party this November. Right here in Texas, you have the opportunity to defeat a man who is against God, guns, and oil. That's pretty bad. Texas, we're talking about. Guns and oil. Beto O'Rourke. Beto. He's another beauty.
Vote Beto.
He will abolish oil, abolish our borders, and abolish your Second Amendment. That's what it is. Remember when he got up and he was pandering to the Democrats and he said he's going to get rid of your guns? In contrast, you have a wonderful man. He's a wonderful man, your Governor Greg Abbott. He's strong on borders. He supports our police, and he's turned Texas into a gigantic jobs magnet. He's done a great job. So I want you to get out and vote for Greg Abbott. He's a very, very good person, a very special man. In addition, Texas needs to reelect your outstanding friend of mine, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Dan? Come on up, Dan.
Oh, no.
Dan was in charge of my campaign in Texas, and we won big. Dan has been a tireless champion for border security, and he will do whatever it takes to stop this invasion.
Dan Patrick is one of the weirdest guys in politics.
Assault on Texas, but it's an assault on the United States. Dan backs the blue 100%. He personally worked to ensure that every Texas law enforcement officer is a bulletproof vest. He wants to crack down on far-left district attorneys, and he strongly resisted COVID lockdowns and mandates to keep Texas free. And when your state faced an energy crisis caused by the radical left, he showed true leadership, demanding the resignation of the entire Public Utility Commission. So I will tell you, he's an incredible guy, a wonderful man. He headed up my campaign twice in Texas. How did we do, Dan? We won. We won big.
By one of the smallest margins for a Republican in 40 years.
You down. So, Dan, please say a few words.
Dan Patrick just exudes alpha male masculinity and energy.
After Hurricane Harvey, within days, you were not far away here in Corpus Christi. And whether it was Harvey relief, building a strong oil and gas industry, making crime numbers go down, securing the border, giving us the strongest economy that we have had in decades, you made the life of every one of 29 million Texans better. And Joe Biden has made the life of every Texan worse. And we do.
About 42% of Texans disagree.
Texas. Mr. President, this is your home. We love you. Thank you what you've done for Texas and America.
He's like, every single Texan. It's like a little more than half. Come on, guys.
Good job, Dan. That's great. Great guy. Great man. Dan is running against, by the way, a Biden-loving radical Democrat named Mike Collier, who has vowed to push Texas far, far, far to the left. Not what you want for this state. Mike Collier will fight for open borders, sanctuary cities, Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi's gun control agenda, and Green New Deal-inspired energy policies, which will close up everything in Texas. It's going to be a disaster. So Texas does not need a Biden-Pelosi stooge. Lieutenant Governor, you need a great person. It's a very important, I don't know if you know, in Texas, the position of lieutenant governor is a very powerful position. A lot of power, a lot of things happen. A lot of things are under the control of the lieutenant governor. And Dan Patrick has been absolutely incredible, strong, powerful, with a big, beautiful heart. And he's my friend. Thank you very much, Dan. Great job. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. This election day, you also need to get out and vote for your incredible Attorney General.
I'm sorry, but I have to thank user Jonald Prump for 21 months subscribed.
President Donald J. Trump.
They know it already, Ken. Ken, they know it. And you know what? Being controversial is okay. It's okay. One of the reasons he's controversial because he does things. No state attorney general in America is tougher or stronger than Ken in terms of what he does for crime and against crime. And he's a legal powerhouse. He really is. Every day, Ken gets up and holds Joe Biden's feet to the fire. He does it
No, he
as
doesn't.
well as anybody there is in the country. He sued the
doesn't do
Biden
anything.
administration over the horrible open border policies and asylum rules that they instituted. All they had to do is leave Tom Homan's ideas alone. Tom Homan, by the way, central casting. He's central casting. He stood up to Biden's illegal targeting of parents at school board meetings. He's taking on Big Pharma like nobody else and the Marxist radicals to stop their use of puberty blockers to a multitude of minor children.
Yeah. They're giving puberty blockers to 5-year-olds who are nowhere near going through puberty. Wait a second. What does that make? No, I don't know.
Have parental rights. Now, today, it's a big subject politically. It's ridiculous. And earlier this year, Ken scored a gigantic victory over the Biden administration, blocking their extreme environmental policies, including their destructive moratorium on oil and gas leasing on public lands. Remember, I used to tell you he's not telling the truth. Whenever he needed to say in debates, he'd say, oh, no, I'm all for oil and gas. But it turned out to be false. We got him on the last question of the second debate. I said, oh, wait a minute. I felt like Perry Mason. I said, wait a minute. He just said it. He's not. But nobody listened. Although, actually, you did. We got a lot of votes, didn't we? Huh?
Yeah. Trump felt like Perry Mason over something that he misheard and then was confused about.
Integrity, you know that. And he's running against an ultra-leftist named Rochelle Garza. Real beauty, that one. Garza's an open borders fanatic who slandered the heroes of Border Patrol, calling them shameless and cowardly. I don't think we can allow that to happen. We can't allow that to happen. She opposes the border wall. She opposes my remain in Mexico. How about that? I got a policy. I got to get that done with Mexico, the great president of Mexico. He's a wonderful guy. He's a socialist, but can't have everything, right? But I got along with him great, but we got it done. And we got a lot of things done with Mexico. We got 28,000 free soldiers. Remember that?
Oh, not this story.
You know how we got them, right?
Oh, no.
I said, listen.
No.
You have 28,000. I need 28,000
not
soldiers
this
while we're
story.
building the wall. And the people in Mexico, the representative said, no, we're not doing that, of course. And I met somebody in the State Department, a very good woman, but she's been dealing with Mexico for 25 years. She said, sir, you can't get that. They'll never do it. I've been asking for many years. I said, really? Let's see what happens. I guarantee you we'll get it. Then I gave her 10 other things that we should get, because I went to the Border Patrol, and you two guys gave me the things that you most wanted, 10 things. And they ended up making it 12. I said, I'll get 12 too. And frankly, the soldiers were less than some of the things we got. Is that right? So I said, these are the 12 things we want, but we immediately want 28,000 free soldiers. And everybody in the room laughed. I thought
Thanks,
I
Ron.
was playing games. They laughed. And I said, you'll give it to us. They said, no, we won't be able to give that to you, sir, 28,000 free soldiers. I said, yes, you will. You'll give it to us.
I don't even know what I'm doing,
And he said,
sir.
no, we won't. I said, okay, here's the story. This was on a Friday. I said, on Monday morning, everything that Mexico sells into the United States will have a 25% tariff placed on it, including the 32% of the car business that you stole out.
Here's more of the tariffs Trump still doesn't understand.
And this representative, who is a very good man, looked at me and said, sir, perhaps you misunderstood me. We would love to provide you with 28,000 soldiers. It's true. That's true, Doc Ronnie. We would love to provide you with those soldiers, and we did. That's why we had such good numbers. We had 28,000 soldiers, Mexican soldiers, on our border as we built the border wall. And the border wall was really a big reason, the border wall and the soldiers, that our numbers were the best in the history of our country. And they were only going to get better if they just left it alone. They were only going to get better. If elected Garza would make the worst border crisis in our history,
That's a bunch of malarkey.
worse. It can't be worse than it is now. I don't know how the hell we're saying that. But maybe they can make it worse. I don't know. Rochelle Garza is also a sworn enemy of election.
Yeah, Trump doesn't understand tariffs, but neither does anybody in the audience, so it's sort of like a wash.
The state of Texas. And if that happens, there will never be another Republican president in the history of our country. It won't happen.
Sounds good.
They won't give it up. They will cheat, and they will steal, and they will rob it, and they're not going to give it up. So we can't let that happen. So unless you want to destroy Texas and America, get out and vote for Ken Paxton. Ken, come here, Ken. Come on.
Oh, no.
Please. He's a good man.
Hey, so Mr. President, Dan, Patrick, and I were over here asking, how does this president draw a crowd year after year? Thousands of people, unlike anybody we've ever seen. And
Because it's a cult.
figure it out. And the question I thought was, well, maybe he's a great speaker. Well, Mr. President, that's true. You are a great speaker. But I don't think that's why everybody's here.
No.
Is it because he's a great businessman? He
No.
clearly is a great businessman, but I don't think that's why everybody's here.
No.
Maybe it's because you're a great golfer. I don't think that's why everybody's here. This president and the people that come to see him are here because, in my opinion, you tell me if I'm right, he's done more for the American people than any president in our lifetime.
Remember, first of all, the crowd's there because it's a cult, and also the people who are called up, they have to suck up to Trump. If they don't kiss Trump's ass, he gets bored.
However, I have one suggestion, because it sounds like there might be a possibility that he's running for president again. Okay, one suggestion, he's got a great slogan, a great theme, Make America Great Again. But if he's gonna run again, maybe a little tweak could be, instead of Make America Great Again, Make America Texas. What do you think?
Oh, God. There's a big sucking noise I can hear, guys.
Get out and vote for Ken. He's great. You can't have You can't have these lunatics get into office. They'll never leave. They'll never leave. We're also joined by another friend of mine, Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller. He's great. Sid, stand up.
Yeah.
He was on television before the last campaign. They said Texas is going to be close. You know why they do that? They say it's going to be close because if they can cheat enough to win, the people don't go crazy. But he said, I don't know where you come from, but I come from Texas. Texas will not be close. It's going to be a landslide for Trump, and he turned out to be.
It was one of the closest Republican wins in Texas in 40 years.
He's a fantastic guy. We have members of Congress. These are friends of mine. They've been through the wars with me, and they're incredible. Pat Fallon. Pat, thank you. Thank you, Pat. Great guy, too. Michael Cloud. Michael, thank you, Michael. Beautiful family, Michael. A man that I love, this guy. I didn't know, was he a better admiral, doctor, or congressman, politician? I'm not sure. I think he was better actually at being a doctor because he said he was so healthy, you know? But he said I could lose a couple of pounds, and I didn't like him for that. I said, don't say that. I don't want you to say that. That made me very angry, but that was okay. He meant it. Unfortunately, he meant it. But Ronnie Jackson is an incredible guy, an incredible man, and a great doctor, too, I'll tell you. Great at everything. Highly respected admiral, doctor, and congressman. How many people can say that? Which label do you like best? If they call you a label, do you like Mr. Congressman? What do you like? He likes admiral. Let's call him admiral from now on. And a man that a little bit reminds me, another tough cookie. This guy's great, and he's become a great friend of mine. He wrote a very successful book talking about the election fraud, and he didn't hold back, and he never does. He's a real patriot who loves this state very much and our country. Troy Nels. Troy, thank you very much. He's a tough cookie. He's a tough one, right, Ronnie? Good, and we love him. Thank you. The next congressman from Texas's 38th Congressional District, Wesley Hunt.
Yeah, for people wondering, Trump's been going about 77 minutes, an hour and 17 minutes. Oftentimes, we ask, is it going to go longer than 90 minutes or not quite 90 minutes? I think today we could be looking at 140.
Nguyen. Ryan, where's Ryan? Thank you, Ryan. And somebody that's been fighting election fraud right from the beginning, Steve Toth. Where's Steve? Steve, great job. Senate candidates, the state Senate, Peter Flores, Kevin Sparks, and this person, Mays Middleton. Where's Mays?
This person.
Very good. Good job. You're doing a good job. State Senate candidates, Adam Hinojosa. Adam Hinojosa. And I'm giving you my complete and total endorsement, Adam. We didn't get it out yet. Adam has my complete and total endorsement. And it was approved by Dan Patrick, so how bad can that be, right? Good, Dan. Republican, thank you very much, Adam. Good luck. I hear you're doing great. Republican nominee, and you know that this is a great person, County Judge Connie Scott. Where's Connie? Connie Scott. Great. And Connie, also tonight, you have my complete and total endorsement, okay? Complete.
Tonight only, one night only.
And the great sheriff, I just met him and his incredible family, Sheriff J.C. Hooper. Thank you, Sheriff. Great job. Central Casting, he's Central
Always
Casting.
risky, the name
And then Bob Jones has been so good to us. He's been so great. Bob Jones of the Bob Jones Show in Corpus Christi. Bob Jones. And an incredible patriot, the greatest purchaser of advertising in history. There's never been a man that bought ads at a better price than this guy.
Pillow.
I mean, I don't know how much money there is in pillows, but I never saw so many ads. He's the greatest. He makes great product and all that stuff. But even more important to me, I want him to buy my ads. If he bought my ads, I could get 17 times more ads for the buck. He's the greatest purchaser of advertising in history, Mike Lindell.
We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines.
Over 54 countries
have now been taken by the machines.
God.
And they took his phone, you know that, the FBI pulled him. They take Mike's phone. They pulled him aside. Give us your phone. We want that phone right now. Give us your phone. It's disgusting.
If you want the full story from Mike Lindell, check out my interview with him, 30 minutes about 10 days ago.
Pearl Harbor veteran. He's 101 years old, and he looks better than I do. I swear he looks better than I do. Bob Batterson. Where's Bob? Where's Bob? He looks better than Trump. I didn't think he was a day over 99. I swear, he's 101. No, he looks great. Thank you very much, Bob. Incredible. When Republicans take back Congress this November, we'll fight for the people of Texas, and we will win for the people of Texas. We promise you, all of us, we promise you, right? One of the first things we must do is stand up for parents' rights, and we'll get the critical race theory out of our schools.
Get it
out
out
of our military. I had it out of our military. I had it out of our schools. And they came in. The first day, they signed an executive order putting it back. We'll get it out of every part of our federal, state, and local governments. And at long last, every parent in America must be empowered to opt out of the forced indoctrination in the classroom and send their child to the public, private, charter, religious, or home school.
They're going to do the
choice.
trans line now.
We will also keep men out of women's sports. Does that make sense? Oh, boy. That's so bad. You know, my people keep saying, these are people that get paid too much money. They keep saying, sir, I don't think you should talk. It's not politically correct. I said, keeping men out of women's sports. And, you know, I tell the story. I don't know if anybody heard it. Probably did. Should I or not? Should I tell it or not?
Oh, no.
All right, so, but, you know, I talk about the swimmer who we met. She's beautiful, lovely, great swimmer. And she fought very hard, years and years of competition. She wants to break the record of the United States. And she's in a meet, 1/16 of a second. That's what she has to, 1/16 of a second. And she's going to do it. And she worked so hard. And the meet came, and it was great fanfare. Her parents were there. Everybody was there. They were all rooting for her. She's really talented, really good. And she stood up at the blocks, and she's ready to go. But she looked down to the left, and she saw about 6 young ladies that she's been competing against since before high school. Recognized all of them, said hello, hi, good luck. Then she looked down to the right, and she saw a few people, and then she saw this giant standing right next to her with a wingspan somewhat larger than Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. He was a giant. And she said to herself, I don't recognize her. This was the largest woman he had ever seen.
He?
She had never seen anything quite like it, but she didn't know. But, you know, because of the fact she's never heard of this person, she figured she can't swim very well, so she wasn't concerned at the size. You know, size isn't everything, right? So the meet started, and it was a horrible thing happened. You probably heard, right? She was badly injured during the meet because the person on her right, this giant person, they actually, and believe it or not, this is acceptable, it was a woman in a man's body. They say this. Can you believe I'm saying this? But it's a woman. This is acceptable.
I don't know.
This
They say it.
But basically, this woman in a man's body.
This is horrible.
Went by her so fast. She was so badly hurt that the wind burn was horrible.
She was hurt.
She suffered atrocious wind burn because the speed
Isn't this guy the worst?
that she's never quite experienced. And he beat the record. She wanted to beat it by 1/8 of a second. The person to her right beat it by 38 seconds. 38 seconds. And the better story is the weightlifter, a young woman lifting, and she was lifting, and she was going to break the record. The United States record. I don't know what the number was, but like say it was about 212 pounds. She was going to lift 212 pounds over it. That's a lot. Do you think I could lift 212 pounds over my head? I don't know. I don't know. They say do it. Yeah, bring some weights up here. 212 pounds, and she got up, and she went, oh, I'm going to do it. Mom, Dad, I'm so proud of you being here. Thank you very much. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. She got up, and You know, they put an eighth of an ounce on one side, an eighth of an ounce on the other, these big barbells, and she got it up. Okay. Oh! Didn't work, okay? I don't have to go through the whole thing, right? She couldn't. And then this young lady came up, who was a young gentleman a short time before. And he walks up to the barbells. I said, have you lifted before? No, not much.
I would love for them to
And
bring
he
weights
looks
up.
down. He wins. He could have lifted about 150 pounds more over his head.
This
it's
is vile.
crazy what's going on in our country. And do you know how bad that is for women? That disrespects women. That disrespects women.
Right.
Okay? And when they tell me it's politically incorrect, please don't speak about it. I'm going to speak about it. And I think the people here and the people in Texas want to speak about it.
It's the most important issue, really.
No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without parental consent. Another one of our highest priorities under a Republican Congress will be to stop left-wing censorship and to restore free speech in America. Go out and sign up, by the way, for Truth Social. Hey, did you see that Truth Social for the last 4 days, 5 days, was #1 over TikTok
Truth
and Twitter
Central.
and everything? #1.
Truth
#1.
Central.
TikTok
Truth Central.
and Twitter and these incredible women from North Carolina. How many is this? Tell me. Look at these beautiful people. They're rich as hell, too. You know, they're rich.
Truth Social is very quickly heading towards bankruptcy.
Follow the Trump tour. Look at how beautiful they are. So let me, and you're not supposed to say that, by the way. I'm sorry I insulted you by saying that. I hope you'll understand. You know, you're not supposed to say a woman's beautiful anymore. That's like politically totally unacceptable. But you are beautiful. So let me ask you, what number is this? How many rallies have you gone to?
74.
How much? 93. Can you believe that? 93. And they're all happily married. They live in beautiful homes. So are your husbands okay with this deal that you're doing? Think of that. Think of that. You're great. Thank you very much. It's an honor. It's an honor. Really a great honor.
Maybe
93.
wrap it up.
We'll have a celebration when we break 100, right? Okay? Thank you very much. It's so great. And everywhere the Republican Party has the chance, we must pass critical election integrity reforms, including universal voter ID, citizenship confirmation. Can you imagine? We'd like to confirm that you're a citizen. We don't want to give you that. There's only one reason they don't, because they cheat. Otherwise, they'd have no problem with it. No more fake drop boxes. No private money pouring into our local election offices. $416 million from Facebook. And ultimately, we need same-day voting. You know that. No, just all we want is paper ballots, the old-fashioned way. That's the way you're going to stop. Would you agree with that, Mike? That's the way you're going to stop it. It's the only way. We don't need satellites sending the signals all over the place. Somebody votes. Let's see. I'm going to vote for Trump. I love Trump. I'm going to vote for Trump. Trump. Bing, bing, bing goes all over the world. Bum, 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 comes back Biden. How did that happen? We are just 17 days away from the most important midterm election in American history, and we need a landslide so big that the radical left cannot rig it or steal it. We have to have it big. Early voting begins this Monday, October 24th. But far better than voting by mail-in ballot. We don't like mail-in ballots. What you do is you go out and vote on Election Day. It's better. And a lot of people fight me. Sir, supposing there's a hurricane, supposing there's bad weather, well, you're just much better off. It's harder to cheat when you do it that
What
way.
absurd
and they
advice.
cheat like dogs.
Very stupid.
So try and, look, it's better than not voting, but you don't want to send it in that way. You want to go out on Election Day
Wow.
and just storm those places.
What a strange thing to say.
You go out and vote, and if you care about election integrity, volunteer as an election worker, poll watcher, or challenger. We need you because they do that. They have all these people. A lot of them are thugs, you know. A lot of them are hired thugs where they threaten our people. You know that, right? We had in Pennsylvania, we had thugs telling people to get the hell out of here. You get out of here. And it was
Trump votes by mail, by the way.
This is the year we're going to take back the House. We're going to take back the Senate. We're going to take back America. And in 2024, most importantly, we are going to take back our magnificent White House. We're going to take it back. Together, we'll fight for more jobs for American families.
All right, is he going to do the QAnon music? Is he going to do it? Let me know in chat.
Forging more products stamped with that beautiful phrase, you know what it is? Made in the USA. Made in the USA. It's a beautiful phrase. We'll shut down Biden's border disaster, reinstitute our strong Remain in Mexico policy. How about getting that? Remain in Mexico instead of the United States. Isn't that nice? You think that was easy? No. They ended it as soon as they could, and then we won in court. But they want to end it. Strengthen the patriots of ICE and Border Patrol, and we will again end catch and release. We will end chain migration. We will end the visa lottery. We will end illegal immigration once and for all. Look, once and for all, we're going to end it. And you're going to come into our country. You're going to come in legally. We want people to come into our country. They have to come in legally. We will stop the crime wave in Democrat-run cities. We will give our police the power they need and the respect they deserve. And we will not take legal protection away from our police. They want to take legal protection so that somebody can sue a police officer and tell him to go out and hire a lawyer. That's just what he wants, is a lawyer. We will restore law and order in America. We will hold China accountable for the unleashing of the virus upon the world. We will defend our Constitution. We will defend the Second Amendment. And we will proudly uphold the Judeo-Christian values and principles of our nation's founding.
He means just Christian.
We will restore patriotic education to our schools, and we will teach our children to love their country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. Always. Our great American flag. In conclusion, our MAGA movement, Make America Great Again. Remember that. Make America Great Again. That's what it stands for. Is by far the greatest political movement in the history of our country. There's never been anything like this. And if I was telling a little fib, they would have me on the front page of every newspaper. They've never even challenged. The greatest in history. Look what we've done. Together, we're standing up against some of the most menacing forces, entrenched interests, and vicious opponents our people have ever seen. Despite great dangers outside, and these are outside dangers that are tremendous, our biggest threat remains the sick, sinister, and evil people from within our country. But no matter how big or powerful the corrupt, radical left Democrats that we are fighting against may be, you must never forget, this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. This nation belongs to you. This is your home. This is your heritage. And our American liberty is your God-given right.
Another glitch.
From Houston to Austin, from Dallas to
He might be skipping the Q music today.
Station to Corpus Christi, and from the Red River to the Rio Grande, the people of Texas live and breathe the fierce spirit of independence. The Lone Star State has always embraced the cause of American freedom like no other, like no other. This is the state where William Travis, James Bowie, and Davy Crockett, the great Davy Crockett, made their last stand at the Alamo, the beautiful Alamo. This is the state where a small band of patriots at the Battle of Gonzales, armed with a single cannon, stared down a foreign army and declared, "Come and take it," right? Come and take it. Come and take it. Come on. Come and take it. And Texas is the state where generations of farmers and ranchers, sheriffs and lawmen, cowboys, cattle hands, prospectors, pioneers helped build up the greatest nation in the history of the world.
Oh no, he's doing it. And you already see the Q. See these people with the one finger up? This is the Q thing. It's the what WWG. Oh my God. Often security now goes through the crowd and tells them to put their fingers down. Let's see if it happens.
Nation that has the highest inflation in 50 years, and where the stock market finished the worst first half of the year since 1872.
Oh, God.
Likewise, we are a nation that has the highest energy costs in its history. We are no longer.
Oh, wow, yeah. Someone told the woman with the glasses to put the finger down.
We were just 2 short years ago. We are a nation that is begging Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, and many others for oil. Please, please, please help us, Joe Biden says. Yet we have more liquid gold right under our feet than any other country. We are a nation that is consumed by the radical left's Green New Deal, yet everyone knows that the Green New Deal will lead to our destruction. We are a nation whose leaders are demanding all electric cars.
Oh, God.
Even though they can't go far, cost too much, and whose batteries are produced in China with materials only available in China, when an unlimited amount of gasoline is available inexpensively in the United States, but not available in China. We are a nation that ended oil exploration and production in the United States just as the price of oil reached an all-time high. What other country would do such a thing? We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving behind dead soldiers, Americans.
This is so stupid. I don't know how anyone could sit through this nonsense and think this is the guy who should be our president. I mean, it's absurd.
State of country, Ukraine, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and it will only get worse. It would never have happened with me as your commander-in-chief. And for 4 straight years, it didn't happen. And China with Taiwan is next. We are a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party like never before. We've got a Federal Bureau of Investigation that won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public, where Hunter Biden's laptop from hell was a Russian disinformation ploy when the FBI knew it.
Really moving people to tears, as you can see.
That refuses to investigate egregious acts of voting irregularities and fraud. And we have a president who is cognitively impaired, in no condition to lead our country, and is now casually talking about nuclear war with Russia, which would be World War III and far more devastating than any of the previous wars because of the weaponry that no one even wants to think about. We are a nation that no longer has a free and fair press. Fake news is all you get, and they are the enemy of the people. We are a nation where free speech is no longer allowed, where crime is rampant and out of control like never before, and where more people died of COVID in 2021 than in 2020. We are a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear weapon, and China to use the trillions of dollars it has taken from us to build a military to rival our own. And just 2 years ago, we had Iran, China, Russia, and North Korea in check. They weren't going to do a thing against us, and everyone knows it. They respected the United States. And perhaps most importantly, we are a nation that is no longer respected or listened to anywhere around the world. We are a nation that in many ways has become a joke.
True.
We are a nation that is hostile to liberty, freedom, and faith. We are a nation whose economy is collapsing into a cesspool of ruin, whose supply chain is broken, whose stores are not stocked, whose deliveries are not coming, and whose educational system is ranked at the bottom of every single list. We are a nation where large packs of sadistic criminals and thieves are allowed to go into stores and openly rob them, beat up and kill their workers and customers, and leave with armloads of goods, but with no retribution where the authority of our great police has been taken, where their families and pensions have been threatened, and their lives would be destroyed for the mere mention of the words law enforcement. We are a nation where fentanyl and all other forms of illegal drugs are easier to get than formula for our beautiful little babies, and where mothers and fathers are scared with Halloween that their children will be given deadly drugs like fentanyl.
That's not happening. There's no reason to think that's happening. It's another one of those completely crazy things.
Crowded mess.
And if it were happening, it would have nothing to do with Joe Biden.
They're notified that the plane won't leave, and they have no idea when they will, where ticket prices have tripled. They don't have the pilots to fly the planes. They don't have.
And they've reduced the size of the little pretzel bags where you get 2 pretzels and some crumbs.
They're doing. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, willpower, and strength. We are a nation that has lost its way. But we are not going to allow this horror to continue.
Horror.
2 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again.
He's been speaking for about an hour 42. It's 102 minutes.
It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. We will stand up to the radical left Democrats.
He's not going to make it to 2 hours. That's a bet I would take. I'm taking the under on 2 hours. You'd have to be nuts to take the over on 2 hours.
Or there is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no victory we cannot have. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never, ever back down. As long as we are confident, united, and loyal to the cause, the tyrants we are fighting do not stand even a chance. Because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and to God alone.
Trump is half asleep, yeah.
The majority is back and stronger than ever before. My fellow citizens, this incredible journey we are on together has only just begun, and it is time to start talking about greatness for our country again. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So with the help of everyone here today and citizens all across our land, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We
By
will
keeping you
make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Texas. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Thank you.
There it is. Well, another Trump speech, essentially the same speech at every event at this point in time. And it is genuinely scary. And, you know, there's people even in our chat who come through and they love this stuff. And, you know, we look at their comment history and it's completely delusional and depraved. And it's really bad. I mean, it is a very serious cult, a cult difficult to get people out of, to save people from, quite frankly. I mean, listen, to even fall for this cult in the first place, it's already pretty bad. You're dealing with it's pretty low. And once you're in the cult, then of course you're going to be extremely resistant to conceding that you fell for it. So once you're in, it's tough. It's very, very tough. And as you can see, extremely sick people. And when people fall for it, it is really bad. And listen, part of the reason people fall for it is they're looking for something. People want something. They know they want to make their lives better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then next thing you know, they think Trump built a wall, which Mexico paid for, but Biden took it down, but it was never built. But the immigrants were in and out and stay in Mexico, and then the grift just keeps going. Thank you to S. Prez for tidying up our 68 new members to 100 with a gift of 32 subscriptions gifted on Twitch. Extraordinary. We have, this week, by the way, we have 2 extraordinary live debates coming for you this week. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, following on Twitch, and liked on Facebook. Monday night, Ron DeSantis versus Charlie Crist. Tuesday night, Mehmet Oz versus John Fetterman. Folks, I will be live for both of these. I don't want you to miss them. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, like on Facebook, because it's going to be quite a day. All right. See everybody very soon.